Welcome, everyone, to the Renegade Realm Podcast, episode 19. We have graduated from barely legal to I drove drunk home because I thought I was a man and I wasn't, and I got stopped by my uncle who happened to be a cop who was also drunk at the time. It's something that runs in the family, I don't know. But look, we're going to sort it out together, get through this together, hold each other's hands and in each other's butts, and, you know, we're family here. So thank you all for being here. And it's just going to be a wild night.
I'm not partaking in any of those horrible decisions. You can do all of that, and I'll watch from afar.
Good.
And give you a stern dad disappointing finger wag.
In the window above. You're just like 100 feet out in the window, just looking down like...
No.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, so this is going to be a fun one. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about today, tonight, in the morning, depending on where you are. But hey, look, let's start from the top. DeMarco, as you take a drink, I will expand my sentence and ask you how you are, what you've been playing, what news do you have, how are you?
I was saying this before, but I got my first taste of virality on Twitter. And it wasn't even big-time virality. It was small-time virality, where I put out a tweet that was basically just saying, hey, I'm really excited for Starfield. I can't wait. That was it. That was a tweet. And then it suddenly got picked up by Elon Musk. Praise be to Musk. And he sent it out to the world. And it normally where I think the highest I've ever gotten really is probably like around 20, but this one somehow reached 170 plus, and I was like, this is what it feels like to log into Twitter and always have like people interacting with your stuff, and that was a great feeling.
That is
so
awesome,
that was
man.
nice. And also, I learned an important thing as well. This is today's piece of wisdom. I'm sorry for hogging the spotlight.
Take it.
Today's piece of wisdom. I got in a conversation with a QA developer at Bethesda Game Studios, and he explained the difference. Now, do you guys know the difference between QA and playtesting?
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah.
Well, you see, Q... Let me teach you guys something about Q actually comes after A. So it's actually the process that comes right before playtesting, because they do everything in alphabetical order in game development. So you start with assuming the role, becoming the developer, carving out a space for the game frame, and then developers come in, and then everyone starts working, and then finally people get paid. And gotta stop me at some point.
I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, first off, the first...
Yep.
Ain't a playtester something like you did? They do like pretty much most of the game. They test it through all the bad phases from the beginning of it to the end. That's what a playtester does, correct?
So QA is the one who's in the weeds looking for bugs, and they're running reports, and they get like a checklist of things to do. But and they're really digging into the more technical side of things. But playtesting is just like playing and giving your feedback. That's all it is. So QA testers can playtest, but playtesters do not do QA, is basically the simple way to do it. And someone explained that to me, or a QA developer at Bethesda responded on Twitter and was talking back and forth, and I was like, huh. I would have used them interchangeably before that. So there you go. There's my nugget of wisdom for the day. Anyway, I'm done. Sip it, lock it.
Well, what have you been playing? You been playing a game?
Darkest Dungeon 2 had its full release. Well, Jedi Survivor, of course. I just recently finished that, which amazing experience. And Darkest Dungeon 2 hit its full release, so I've been experiencing that. And if you like roguelikes and you like indie games, this one is phenomenal, from the art style to the music to the narration to the writing, and then the gameplay loop if you like turn-based stuff. So, absolutely. Paper Mario style, I guess, would be the closest with a party? I don't know.
That's fantastic. I love that. I started Darkest Dungeon years ago when it first came out on Xbox. I bought, like, it was on sale, and I bought, like, the darker dungeon version, whatever it is.
The darkiest.
The darkiest dungeon.
The darkiest dungeon, yes.
Ooh, somebody's going to clip that out. Anyway, it was very brutal. I loved it. Don't get attached to anyone. It's just like XCOM, which I think is great. So that's fantastic, Mac. You with your stern look, I love it. Very stoic, just always ready to pounce like a tiger, just rawr, you know. What
There's some
what
other
have you been
stuff I
playing,
like
man?
to bounce.
Ooh,
This, if you can see it, my light might not bring it. It's kind of hard to see, but it's pretty much, it's the new Zelda
Super
game. You know?
Mario. Oh,
It's so crazy how the light is like bringing the freaking thing. There it goes. You can see it now. The light's really big.
Okay.
I love it. I think this is awesome. That's why I got this whole pad and stuff.
nice.
I played. Remember, me and you talked about it last night. I didn't start playing it till today, and I played it for about 4 hours, and it's really good. It's clearly it's just like it's why it's game of the year. Already.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing, but there's still other things to come out.
Bro, no. When Zelda comes out, it's game of the year every year.
I'm not
Doesn't matter.
disagreeing. I'm just saying.
Like, who's coming in second place? Like I said, who's coming in? That's what the award should be. Who's coming in second?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Jedi.
No,
Survivor
that's definitely that might
Foundation.
come in like 10th place because of the other stuff on the outside of it. Yeah, none. Just that's about it. That's all I've done really this weekend, and I've been playing pretty much. I don't know, playing Halo like I normally do, and doing anything else. Just being me like normal. Get ready to move, unfortunately. So, the process of
exciting,
that.
man.
So the whole pretty much like I said, I was telling you guys, nobody can see it here on camera, but like the whole right of the room is packed up shit of like stuff that's getting ready to be packed up. And that's why all this stuff might not be on the walls next weekend. So, and it's time. It's just gotta move, unfortunately. So
It's time. It's time.
it's a duel.
And
Sorry.
Assassin. What have you been playing? Anything exciting going on in your life, or just in general? Have you done anything outside of gaming? What's going on with you, man? Speak.
Nothing really exciting, to be honest.
Oh.
In terms of what I'm playing, Star Wars Jedi Survivor for one, Siege
It's exciting.
for another.
Don't say nothing's exciting. That's exciting. Jedi Survivor's exciting.
It is.
Yeah, it's a great game. It really is. Respawn once again shows they can make a Star Wars game. I will give them that's something that we'll always give them credit for. But.
That was said so it wasn't ever going to happen. Like, it was just completely incapable. They proved they could do it.
They did.
Well, yeah, they once again proved it. Yeah, I saw some people like, oh, they did it only. They can probably only do it one time. They won't do it again. And once it came out, it was like, yeah, they did it again. They did a great Star Wars game again. Prove you wrong. Except for the performance issues, obviously.
Yeah. Hey, Red, leader of the Redbeard, the Renegade podcast.
The Renegade Renegade podcast.
Rent a
It's so
beard.
funny.
The Red.
It's funny because because I had to do timestamps, and I was like, there's so many things that I should have said, and sometimes people will say things just in any show, and somebody will say something funny, and it'll get like talked over, and no one can hear it, and I hear things whenever I have to re-listen, and I think Assassin said something like that. He's like the Redbeard Renegade.
Yeah, it was weird.
Something.
Renegade. The Renegade podcast.
Or something like that, yeah. And I laughed, and I was like, but during that moment, like, none of us heard it. And I was like, fuck, man, I need to tell him that I laughed. So Assassin, I laughed. Yeah, and I have I've been trying to. Okay, you don't appreciate my love? No, so I am. There we go. I have been playing a little bit of everything because I'm trying to rush through my games list, which, what are you gonna do? Starfield's coming. And so I've been playing. I played Ghost Recon Future Soldier for like 10 minutes just to get to a checkpoint, so I can be like, I did that.
Have you ever played that?
Yeah, I played it like 1,000 years ago. Remember when the demo came out? I played the demo. I was like, this is great, and then I never played it again. And I tried to go back and play with my friends, and you can play co-op online, but it's fucking difficult as hell. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out how to play with my friends because it's like the only co-op game that looks great right now. Like story.
Really good game. It's really good. For being a 2012 game or whatever it was pretty good. Any Grog game. That's another
What
game.
about Payday? I heard that one's pretty good.
Oh, no, that's
Oh my fucking god. All right, so moving on. I've been playing other things, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, so you know what?
Or Atomic Hearts. Sorry, okay, carry on.
Atomic
That's a
Heart.
dumb-
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's not
Sorry,
co-op,
DeMarco.
but
Not co-op.
I know, I was being a smartass.
so let's just get right into this. Who here has played Zelda besides Mac?
Damn, that's a shame.
Shit.
Fucking
Anyone in
pony
chat? Have
Xboxes.
anyone in chat played Zelda yet? Let me know. Mac, I just want you to run me through your time so far with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom YouTube algorithm. Tell me.
The little bit of time I've played it, I mean, clearly we all know it plays like Breath of the Wild. If anybody's played Breath of the Wild, this game is similar. Everybody knew that going in. They fixed a little bit of the mechanic problems where like lunging is a little bit different and stuff like that. When I was lunging at some bats and stuff like that right at the beginning, I noticed that it swung a little bit better, which is nice. I haven't got like into like where the other mechanics are like, they got new stuff called Ascent and stuff like that. I haven't got to that part yet because I've been looking around, man, and just seeing the scenery. And for being a 720p 10 frames per second, it still doesn't look bad. I mean, I know it's not the greatest looking game, but man, sorry, I was reading the chat. It's good. I just, if you're gonna play it, if you think you're gonna play it, buy it. If you even have a consideration, just pay the $70. It's never gonna be any cheaper than that. Hell, Breath of the Wild come out 6 years ago, and the lowest I've ever seen it is $40. I mean, and that's just buy it. There's no reason to hesitate. If you want to, I would recommend playing it dock. Okay, if you have any type of Switch, I am playing it handheld, but I do see a little bit of frame drops more on this handheld than I thought I would. That's just a little, just not much, but I can see it. We're so used to Redfall being 30 frames. I can see this shit horrible. But it's so good, man. It's just, it plays like it plays a better Breath of the Wild. Like, I can't wait to actually get more into the story. Like I said, I've only played 4 hours, and that's in between. I probably played like a 2.5, maybe 3 hours, because pausing and doing other shit around the work area and stuff. But man, it was really good for what the little bit of time.
Did you get to the point where you could just start using bridges to solve all the problems in the game?
Well, I was
because I've seen that. I've seen that online.
Yeah,
I heard of that.
Did you see the guy? He built a bridge. He pushed it. He built it up, and he like just dropped it over a freaking river. And he's like, oh, and he walked it right to the guy in like 3 seconds. So I'm hearing some stuff. If anybody, this is going to be my thing. So Ascent, you got Ascent, and then you got replayability, right? So you can move something to a point, right? And get it there, and then like you need to get it back to you need to get that part or whatever back to what it is. So jump on top of it and resend yourself, like replay it like backwards, and then it just can take you to the top of the tower or whatever the case may be. I wasn't trying to watch a video on it because I like to like when games like this, it's kind of like Jedi Survival and Dead Eye. I like to like just go in a little bit blind. But unfortunately, you're scrolling through TikTok, you see shit like that, TikTok, the China ban thing. And I just right now it's worth it. That's a good question there, Red.
Easy to answer.
I also saw.
Listen, from my point of view, Jedi Survival is game of the year. Okay, I think it's game of the year. I want to put that out there for the question, but Zelda's gonna win it because it's just what it is. So
I also saw.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was GameSpot or IGN, but there's these, I guess, fruit or something in the game that you pick up to level up, and there's like a million of them scattered across the map. I don't know if Breath of the Wild had the same thing. I never had a Nintendo Switch, but I was looking at this map, and it just had a bazillion of the same collectible. I think it was the same collectible item just everywhere, and I went, huh.
It's tedious. It could be tedious. It's almost worse than it. If you're not into stuff like that, it could be worse than an Ubisoft game. We all know how Ubisoft games rinse and repeat. It could be worse than that with this. Breath of the Wild did that to me. I actually took a break off Breath of the Wild, not because they didn't have all that in there, but like I played halfway through the game. I played about a good 25-30 hours of Breath of the Wild, and I had to sit it down for about 2 months because it bored me. It started boring me. It was rinse and repeat, and then I went back and I beat it in like 10 hours afterwards, 10, 15 hours afterwards. It wasn't, you could kind of do your own pace of that game. You could beat it in 2 hours. You could beat it in 100 hours. It depends on what scenario you feel like. That's one thing I like about this game. You go at your own pace. You don't need to rush through the game. You can rush right through and beat it and go sell it and say, hey, I beat it, But
yeah, I feel like that's a staple of Nintendo games.
Well, yeah, everything besides even Super Mario games, like the new Odyssey was like that. You collect what you need to collect, go, and just keep moving. You don't need to go. So, it's worth it. If you're gonna buy it, buy it. Don't wait. Just You're not going to get it on Black Friday for cheap because it may be $10 less. It's not worth waiting for if you're really looking forward to it. Just buy it. If you want to even consider it, buy it. Just buy it. Let's just do it. It's my opinion.
How is the? Have you made any creative things? What's the coolest weapon?
No, I haven't got that far. I haven't got that far yet. So
you only have the fuse.
No, I still have the Master Sword right now, running around in the cave and shit like that. So.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Is the Master Sword?
Beautiful, yes. It's beautiful. It looks so good.
Not related to Breath of the or Tears of the Kingdom, but really quick, on Twitter, we're trying to get you guys played Prey?
Yeah, what about
it? Haven't finished, but I am.
Prey sequel. So we're sending out tweets #Pray for a sequel to try to raise Prey sequel awareness.
Well, there is rumors that they already started working on their next game, so I wouldn't be surprised if it is Prey 2. So.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm still wanting to detract too much, but back to Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh no, you're good. That's it. Looks like y'all. I'm the only one that can talk about it, so that's it for me. That's it, folks. Sorry, the end of the show. Okay, right.
So,
I mean, I have a comment about it.
Really?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really thought it was a funny clip that someone put about that.
I already know where you're going.
Yes, of course. Anybody who's been on Twitter has seen that clip about Link shooting at the forbidden ancient Hyrule sausage. And we'll just leave it at that. Thought it was hilarious.
He got it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But
okay. So Assassin didn't explain it, but you can build in the game. You can kind of build. That's kind of what we were talking about with the bridges and stuff.
I just didn't want to say it because I didn't want to get red demonetized so early.
We're not gonna get. Well, we're past the 30-second mark. You can say whatever you want.
All right, fine. It was a pretty funny clip where Link shot the fucking paint.
He shot at somebody's head, and it breathed fire is what it was. They built something, shot at his head, not the normal head, the other head, and it shot fire out. I'll have to send you the clip later.
This is one of the first things that I remember people talking about is like people are going to be building giant phallic machines.
They built a boat of that, and we're driving it across the water with the boat. And
there's a lot of Nintendo hate in this chat.
There was this, and then there's this, and they were driving across the water. So.
Oh yeah, look at this chat. Yeah, John TJ says Nintendo needs to make a real console, and then he puts the shades on and spits on his.
All these people that say that don't play, they can't afford a Nintendo Switch. They still play on PlayStation 2.
Lexi,
I'm sorry.
Lexi says Nintendo should go third party. What do you? What?
And Nintendo's got $150 million consoles out for a reason. That's all I'm saying.
Nice. Yeah, Donnie says Trojan condom horse. Nice. Yes, that's how we do it, baby. You just hide inside and just stay lubed up.
I think when it comes to Nintendo, we should appreciate the fact Nintendo is the only one of the 3 big console manufacturers who solely relies on video games and their IP to actually stay afloat. Sony has like TVs and stereos. Microsoft obviously has the cloud and
Windows 11.
Everything else. But Nintendo just completely relies on hardware and software and video games. That's literally their main source of income. Everything else is just secondary. Just like
since the Switch, it's been working for them. So
it's going to keep working for them.
The Switch,
the Switch saved them naturally. Unfortunately, we all know that Nintendo almost sold out. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. It's not stupid. Everybody that pays attention to time. The Wii and the Wii U kind of. Yeah. You know, the Wii U really. The
Wii U pretty much.
I have my Wii U. I showed y'all my Zelda Wii U. I have a Wii U. I think it was a great console, but it wasn't what people wanted to Switch. They wanted a handheld console, and that's what they got.
Yeah, I bought the Wii U just so I could play Zombie U. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh, yep. I got Zombie U on my Wii U.
And that game was actually really, really cool. A glimpse into the AR tech that back then was really, it's still pretty cool how it was. I'm sitting in my chair, doing this. If anyone knows that game, let me know in chat. But after that, it was just a big flop. And I can't remember who, someone in our community, one of the biggins, compared what's going on with Xbox right now to the Wii U phase, where they had this huge.
It was Benji Sales. Yeah, he was the one that kind of compared what Microsoft was going through with the Xbox One to the Wii U, and
Well,
I personally kind of agree.
But
Nah, it can't be. The Wii U really did not sell well. That was probably the worst selling console, and clearly we all know it was the worst selling console in Nintendo history because of the scenario of them almost going bankrupt because of it.
yeah, so I think when it's not a direct comparison, but it's like a good idea of like when you say, oh, Nintendo's dead, they're not gonna come back, and the 360 was like the highest. I mean, we had tons of exclusives then with Xbox. It was the place to be with games, and then the Xbox One came out, and it was like, oh god, I mean, it's horrible for them. It was so bad. And then they made the shift into Game Pass, and came out with the next gen games, and we haven't had next gen games for a long time. We're starting to get them finally now, and now since they've had this focus, it seems like their focus on. And Phil Spencer even said in that interview, you're not just gonna make somebody, which I have thoughts on. We don't have to talk about that, but I do have thoughts on that. Like, I don't 100% agree with what Phil said. I think he was just grumpy. Like he said, he's a little grumpy. But the fact that everyone's like, it's over for Xbox, it's over. I don't think that this is where that Wii U comparison comes in, where it's like, dude, they have an opportunity to make a huge comeback in the next next few years.
The Wii U sold 13.5 million consoles. Lexi was saying 12. It was 13.5. I mean, we all know they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
He said like 12.
Okay, well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
Lexi.
so-
It's a she,
yeah.
by the way.
She.
We don't want to consume here nowadays.
I don't
Yeah, it
know
was
who
like-
runs the lore field. Like,
Yeah, there's like
account,
3 of them
though.
that are on there.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah. But normally it's Lexi that joins us on our podcast, and then the other guys will get on their own stuff. Oh yeah, you know them, so that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Wii U is like literally probably like the 20th worst console ever in history. Like, I mean, even the Quest 2 sold more. The Series X is already above it. The closest thing to that would be a PlayStation Vita. Like, I'm literally looking at a list right now. That's crazy to see. Like, even an Xbox, but them comparing an Xbox One that sold almost over 51. It says 51 to 58 million consoles. That's not. You can't compare that. You just can't compare to Nintendo that has millions of consoles out there with the Wii. You know, they had over the Wii U, so it was like the 5th most selling console ever, I think, or 6th most console ever if you count the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance as one. Like it, you can't compare Xbox One to the Nintendo's shitty ass Wii U. You can't.
No,
I'm sorry.
I think it's a good. I think it's a
just
good
meant the
visualization. Yeah, I think it's a good visualization of it.
I don't know, man. 50 million
Mac,
is a lot.
just to be clear, Mac, I'm not talking about the consoles. I'm talking about the business trajectory which Nintendo was going, and now Xbox seemingly is going.
Yeah.
And how Nintendo had a huge bounce back, and that's sort of what I'm just saying. It's not. It's just like a good idea. Like, don't ever count these huge giants out of the game.
From the ashes.
Yeah, from the ashes.
Ashes.
Real quick, DeMarco, you brought something up. This is not even part of a topic, but I just wanted to ask everyone who has played Prey and who knew what Prey 2 was going to be before, what would you guys want to see from a Prey 2 without spoiling Prey at all? Because I haven't even finished it either. I'm sure there's people who haven't played it.
More guns.
But
I have not played it.
Yeah. I haven't. I'm gonna finish it. I haven't finished it. But what would you guys want to see the bounty hunter thing come back, or would you want, like, what could they do? What could they do again? Was it'd be like Dead Space 2 but Prey? Because it's a good comparison, right?
That's what I was. When you were saying that, I was thinking, I was like, well, we could do like a Dead Space kind of scenario where they send somebody else out there to do it, you know, kind of scenario, and redo it all over again. Which Dead Space 1 and 2 did really well. So, and Prey didn't sell that bad. I don't think Prey sold that bad. Couldn't have. That's. I mean, that's
It didn't.
the first thing I thought.
Meet expectations. I don't think
Really?
I don't think it lost money. Arcane, if he's around, can actually probably speak better to this. Hence his username is a dead giveaway. But I don't think it lost money, but it didn't. Yeah, it wasn't a massive blowout success.
If it ain't making that much money, they're not going to keep putting money into it. You know, if it's only $1 million or a couple $1 million, you ain't gonna. They're not going to keep going.
Yeah, it's seeing a resurgence thanks to Game Pass, and it's kind of getting a little bit of a spike we've noticed lately. But nothing that's breakout. You know, not Jedi Survivor numbers or Tears of the Kingdom numbers, right? Nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not marketed to be that though. That's the thing about it. Like, you got to market. They're not. I mean, they market it. I'm sure I see it caught like one commercial. You'll see it randomly in like a YouTube video or something like that. But the biggest thing with a lot of these lower market AA, almost AAA games is they don't market them well. and they do a pretty poor job. And I remember not even really seeing much about Prey. Like, you've seen it, but it was not enough. But like, yet you turn on YouTube and every other fucking clip is a Zelda clip or a Redfall clip or soon to be Starfield here, because we know they're gonna market that shit like a lot after June. And there's rumors that I don't know. I'm gonna bring this up middle of the thing because I was on my way from work and I was listening to Kind of Funny Games. I don't know if you guys really watch wrestling or anything like that, but there's rumors that they're gonna probably drop one of the new wrestling games here in June, like kind of like how they did Hi-Fi Rush, or even late June. So we might get another shadow drop of a video game again off one of these shows coming up. So just a thought, by the way. So we might get more than just one shadow drop this year, maybe even another 2 or 3 games. So that's what I see. That's why I was just listening to what they were saying. So I don't know 100%. Sorry, we're kind of going off topic.
Arcane says like 2 to 3 million copies sold. Man, yeah. And the thing is, it backfired. Colt Eastwood has joined the chat. What's up, man? Thank you for being here, bro.
Yeah. See, so Lexi did say that there's rumors that Red falls off. Yo, what's up, Colt?
It kills me every time.
So hard. I really wish that Arcane's chat would have came after Colt's.
I love you too, Colt. You're the man. Thanks,
what's
buddy.
up, Colt? Yeah. Yeah.
Colt
I only
comes in
sold
here, I
3
get all
million
flustered.
copies. That's yeah. I can see why it kind of moved on from it. You know? So.
Yeah,
Still a
and
lot
the
of
thing
copies,
is,
though.
Bethesda,
3 million
but
times $50.
yeah, but the devs have been vocal about how they were disappointed that they were shoved into a corner by just having the naming convention shoved down their throat and saying you have to name this game Prey because it's recognizable after Prey 2 got shut down. People were so excited about that game, so let's just call this one Prey. And they're like,
yeah,
that's not even what the game is at all. It's a totally different thing.
They didn't even have that. Yeah, I remember we were. Was it me and you that were talking about it a couple days ago or something like that? Yeah, it's sad. Like, you just throw it in there just because it's the name, and they were better off throwing, what's that game called? Fear. They were better off putting it as Fear or something like that than I think Prey, because it's kind of more of a fear thing than it is Prey. Prey's a little bit different, so I don't know.
Just to clarify something for Colt, Arcane sent a chat that said, is there a source on that? And I just was hoping that came after Colt, your chat that said, OMG, it's so hot in here. And then is what it said. Is there a source for that?
I called it.
He's drinking
I
Dew.
fucking called it. I called him the Dew King, and what is he doing? He's drinking a Mountain Dew.
It's hard to quit it, Colt. Colt was a recovering Dooman.
I was just at KFC yesterday.
Double D meetings. He's like, hi, my
I was at KFC yesterday, and I was getting the mac and cheese chicken bowl, and I got a Mountain Dew as a drink, and I was like, this is a mistake. This is not.
You thought about
this
Colt,
is not a
didn't
good
you?
taste.
You're like, damn, Colt making me drink a Mountain Dew.
When I got the Mountain Dew, I thought, so this is what Colt drinks. And then I tasted it, I'm like, what the fuck is he drinking? This tastes more like rocket fuel. The hell?
You could be Doomin together. Doomin,
yeah.
Do it together.
No, trust me, I know people who talk about their, being hooked on sugar is a real thing. And when you don't have it, that's when you realize how much it screws with your brain. But I've known people that are like, what's wrong with me? I've been trying to be healthier, and what's wrong with me? My body's all out of whack, my brain's all out of whack, and it's sugar. It's really hard to kick. And so, Colt, I'm with you in your struggles. If you need me late at night, just call me, and I'll be your support pillow. I don't know, whatever. But we got you. Thanks for stopping by, man. But you don't have to leave. I'm not telling you to leave. Actually, don't leave at all. Keep your phone on. Just stay here.
Just stay here and listen to our
He
sweet
says
voices.
I'm hooked on sugar so bad, worse than Xbox. What is it? Oh, ADD and sugar is such a nice compliment. Yeah. Oh man. I get it. I get into work and my brain is it's like spinning your wheels. If you know what it's like to have ADD, whenever you wake up and your first human interaction. I don't want to project. My first human interaction is usually the most awkward in the morning when I come into work because everyone's like, hey, good morning, how are you doing? What's going on? Okay, what happened yesterday? And I'm like, my wheels are and I'm like, hey, let me just write this. If you could, yeah. And then I start having I have the words. You guys ever go through a drive-through and they're like, "Hi, would you like to try our new combo, the triple decker dippin' chicken wheel?" And you're like, no, yeah, hang on, no, not yes to the meal, but yes, I can hear you, but give me 1 second, thank you, I'm sorry, and then I just drive away. ADD is a real problem, people. It's a real thing. But
Sure is.
hey, so so Prey 2, I would want the bounty hunter thing, but I don't know how they could do that now that they've sort of put themselves in a corner with the lore. But that's the thing, like, it doesn't have to be like, it could just be in the Arcane universe, but just in a space setting again. And just like every new Prey game is like a new space.
You need to finish the game, and then this conversation can happen.
Okay, understood. So we'll come back to that.
That's why I was just letting him talk. I'm just like, yeah, just keep talking.
Yeah, you need to just finish the game, and then you'll answer your own question here. I think.
I kind of said it earlier. And I'm like, oh, he didn't play the game. I just kept on. I just act like I didn't say it.
So for what it's worth, the ending of that, and like kind of similar to Jedi Survivor, the ending of Prey, because Jedi Survivor, without spoiling anything, the last act of it is where things just go from like here, and I was not sold on Jedi Survivor as far as the story goes for like the first 70% of it, and then it just goes boom, and it takes off into amazing directions, and you go, oh, there's some things I didn't like about it. There's some things that I thought they were kind of like pull in for dramatic sake, if you will, and that stuff kind of goes. I go, it feels a bit forced, but I fell in love with it during the last act, and Prey was the same way. I loved it the whole time, but the last act of it, I was like, yes, this is great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what else is great? The Witcher. Let's get into our first topic.
Bad news, man.
Well,
this is
bad news. This isn't our first topic technically, but so let me just pull up the article here. And do you guys know about this? What's going on with the Witcher spinoff? Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, there are multiple Witcher games happening. There's the one big one that's coming, which is the sequel, or it's just the next big Witcher title, which we're calling it The Witcher 4. It has something to do with the school, the cat school, the kitty cat school. And that's the one a lot of people I've talked to a ton of people that said, let us create our own Witcher. And I forgot to send this. There we go. To be a mentor.
I think that's the next step.
Yeah, to be mentored by Ciri and or Geralt, which would be cool. But there is a spin-off Witcher game. And, sorry, I thought somebody was breaking in. So what's happening is CD Projekt Red has confirmed a round of layoffs at Project Sirius developer Molasses Flood. And this kind of sucks. So basically what happened is, here, I'll just read the article. Following Molasses Flood's change in direction at the Witcher spin-off Project Sirius, CD Projekt has confirmed that a number of employees have been let go from the developer due to the new change in direction. Last week, CD Projekt's management board announced that Molasses had finished redefining the framework for Project Sirius. While it was great to hear that Project Sirius was once again heading in the right direction, tweets began to emerge from various former Molasses Flood employees saying that they had been let go from the firm. 29 employees have been confirmed to be laid off due to the new changes. And CD Projekt Red said because the project change, so has the composition of the team that's working on it. Mainly on the Molasses Flood side, the concrete number of employees we parted ways with is 21 team members in the U.S. and 8 in Poland. So this reminds me immediately of Vampire the Bloodlines Masquerade. It reminds me of oh god, we just not talked about this game last week. I don't want to stick it on for too long, but this has happened a lot where things change so much internally that the direction is just completely. It's like over thunk or so. I don't know what word to use. And I get it. You do have to save money or whatever, but they are very close. We think that they're very close to releasing the next Cyberpunk expansion, Phantom Liberty. They currently have no income other than residual, sale here and there or whatever. Because The Witcher 3 continued to sell and sell and sell, and still to this day the game sells. I mean, it's just The Witcher,
Mm-hmm.
So now they have their spin-off projects. They have a Cyberpunk spin-off. They have a Witcher big title, and then they have this Witcher spin-off thing, whatever that's going to be. And now it's changing directions, and they laid off a bunch of people rather than moving their assets elsewhere, splitting a team, putting them over here, and just using everybody. They laid off people, which clearly shows that they're in a financial puddle of mud. Is what it seems like.
Yeah,
there's
honestly,
good and bad to that, but let's touch on the bad. You go ahead.
Since The Witcher 3, it seems like they really haven't been able to get strong footing, and there's been a lot that's come from them. They had the Witcher saga, the Gwent spin-off game, that fully fledged where you play as Thronebreaker, right? Yeah. And I liked that one quite a bit, actually. I never completed it, but I did enjoy it because I liked Gwent. They had Gwent, which shut down its services, not recently anymore, but that ended up coming to a halt. Obviously, Cyberpunk launched and sort of completely, I think, for the long-term benefit to a lot of people, but it really sparked this. Cyberpunk's release was almost a turning point in the industry, the same way that Watch Dogs did. Because Watch Dogs came out, if you remember, and they showed that hyper amazing looking gameplay that wasn't real gameplay, and then the game came out and looked nothing like that. And then The Witcher comes out, or Cyberpunk comes out, and it's from a beloved studio that everybody loves for The Witcher 3, because that game did incredibly well. And then Cyberpunk is a buggy mess, and the features that they were showing off weren't there. And it was sort of a repeat of that, but really solidified for a more modern audience, I would say. And it makes sense why they would have to lay people off, because, like you said, where are they making up the difference? And It sucks for those developers. I'm not saying this is a positive thing. I think, though, that it's interesting to me to see, because you also have, for example, it was today that it was reported, and I don't want this to go off on a tangent, but today it was reported that Assassin's Creed was putting another 800 developers towards their next project, so they were moving people around to work on that game because they want to put full in on that. You have people getting laid off from the Witcher side project, and there's so much with AAA games. I think it's why we're seeing so many indie studios popping up, like Ascendant Studios that's making Immortals of Avium, because AAA studios, with the cost of game development, they have to be so risk averse to make a good product for people, because the risks of releasing another Thronebreaker, assuming that didn't do so well, I don't know how it did, but just pretend it didn't do so well, the risk of releasing something like that is going to happen probably more often than, say, the success of a Grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So just hope those developers land on their feet, though. That's always the case, but
that's the thing. And Lex, shout out to Lex in chat. She said I think that they're stretching themselves too thin. And I think this is which is very true, I think, because when huge success happens, a lot of the people that are passionate about what they're doing they're never the ones making the decisions whenever they see big success. Excuse me, even with Cyberpunk, with the resurgence of Cyberpunk again after the anime came out, that's when we started hearing the big moves that they were going to start making. All of a sudden, we're going to have a Cyberpunk spinoff. We're going to have the next Cyberpunk's coming too. The next Witcher's coming, and it's like they just thought that
all those codename projects.
Yeah, and it's like, man, you guys don't. I say this all the time, but a lot of these people, these higher ups don't have their ear to the ground like we as fans and gamers do. It's like, we just want The Witcher 4. We just want third person in Cyberpunk. I'm just kidding. We just want your big daddies. It's like, Bethesda, for example. I think that it was smart of them to at least dip their toes in the water to see what they could do. It wasn't their feet being held to the fire necessarily with Fallout 76, because it was a different team. That's not to say that they can't be held accountable at all, but they didn't test it with, let's say, Elder Scrolls or something like that. They didn't go out and try to make Starfield multiplayer, like, and you know, as far as we know. But they saw it, they tried it. I don't think it's gonna work, but they didn't say, okay, people are really hyped about this. Let's go make 75 different Elder Scrolls and Fallout spin-offs and all this kind of stuff. People are just waiting for the big daddies in that respect.
So out of curiosity, so they're restructuring part of the project. And I think maybe, and obviously we're just working on pure speculation here. So Polaris was, not Polaris, Sirius was the one that was being worked on. Project Sirius was being worked on by Molasses Flood. And that was going to incorporate both multiplayer and single player elements to the game. So do you think it's possible that the restructure is them looking at the multiplayer and going, maybe not, we're gonna focus on the single player, and so they no longer needed those multiplayer developers? They said, all right guys, sorry, we're not doing that part of the project, because they wanted to focus on the single player experience, which we know, I mean, EA's completely pivoted on their stance on single players. We know that single player games are strong, if not stronger than ever. Do you think maybe it might be, obviously I guess the answer is yes, it could maybe be that, but
I didn't think about it that way. The thing is, what do we know? I don't know. Assassin, do you know what else has the Molasses Flood worked specifically on? Because I don't know. Or maybe I did know and I forgot. Were they multiplayer?
I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time I've heard of the Molasses Flood.
Oh, okay.
So maybe this is their first project.
Founded by BioShock, Halo, Guitar Hero, and Rock Band series veterans, the Molasses Flood is known for survival and base-building games like The Flame in the Flood and Drake Hollow.
Interesting. Really interesting. It sounded like they all just needed a job, or they really wanted to try something brand new, which would have been multiplayer, right? In comparison to all those, or I guess survival games as their multiplayer.
Survival game in the Witcher universe. You play as a peasant trying to survive from the frost.
Yeah, it'd be like Dragon Ball Z Ballers or whatever it's called. Not Dragon Ball Z Ballers.
You play as a crazy lady who's trying to get her pans back from Geralt.
Oh my god, yeah. She's like, you ruined my pans. You took the soot.
You cleaned them.
Damn it. Yeah. Man, I love I'm playing The Witcher again right now also, by the way. I just can't stop.
You sure it's not the outfit? Because normally you've been on the outfit a lot lately, so I was just making sure.
So yeah, so a lot of people are like, bro, why are you like hooked on that game? I'm like, no, it's not. So there are some 360 games that like they get like stuck on your profile. Like no matter what you do, you sign out, you turn your Xbox off, you reset your cache, everything is so it looks like I'm playing the outfit all the time. I think I fixed it, but I'm not. So yeah, there's a lot to I just hope that they don't put all their eggs into too many baskets and have less people to feed. The opposite is putting all their eggs into one basket and making one big Witcher game that sucks, or one big Cyberpunk game that sucks, or something like that. So I get testing the waters, but it just depends on what kind of effort you're putting into it. We know by now multiplayer co-op live service games are not hitting right now at all. And if Redfall is not to say that Redfall couldn't have been a great live service game. That's a whole other animal to tackle. But it's been notorious since Avengers. I mean, and even before that. I mean, it's just been rough with those kind of games. So if that is to be the case, that would be much more understandable. But still, letting a team go, I guess that just does fall into what we were saying before about the financial downfall. Or their lack of finances, just not having any income. So, I don't know. Does anyone have anything else to say on this? Like, I want the next Witcher game. You know, that's all I want.
I want to add something to the chat because I think it's Lexi that's talking about the Assassin's Creed. I guess today they announced Witcher thing sucks. Because I know I wasn't here. I had to walk outside. The Witcher thing, laying anybody. You said 29 people before I walked away. It doesn't matter if it was one person. It's unfortunate. It's a scenario, whatever the case may be with them. I feel bad for them. Hopefully everybody there does get a new job somewhere, even in the company or somewhere else. around. I just hope that. I mean, most likely they will, because that's just everybody's making a game somewhere, so they can. I'm sure they'll find a job. So let's just hope for the best for them. But the Assassin's Creed thing, I just heard today that in the next 2 years, they're going to ramp up 40% of their people to make more Assassin's Creed games, because we have Mirage by the end of March of next year, of 24 March. We have Red and I think it's called Helix. I think it is the Witcher looking one you got. But those are rumors.
Hex or something.
Hex. It's
Assassin's
Hex and
Creed
Red.
Hex.
Yeah, Hex and Red. I'm on camera. Hold on one second.
Okay. So while
Sorry, my bad. The wife
go
coming
ahead.
here was but so we're just gonna get a lot. I know that was just an add-on to that what the chat said. I just want to make sure they know about. I don't know if anybody's heard, but I just found that out today. 40% is a lot of people. I mean, you're looking, if your studio's 200 people, 40% is like 80 new people. That's a lot of people to bring in, just to ramp in to make more Assassin's Creed games. And those Red and thing are going to be old school. Those are going to be like the way the old games are made, I guess, supposedly. I don't know if it's which one's what. There's so many coming out, and then they got a bunch of mobile games and everything.
It's always funny to me too, because that many developers does not make good game.
Yeah, I hate Valhalla.
They don't make like having. You think Skyrim was it Skyrim that was 100 people?
Really?
Or Oblivion?
I think that was 100 to 150, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Somewhere
it
within
was,
that range.
and that was the whole team that made that game. I mean, you look back at Oblivion, and one guy did every single dungeon in Oblivion in the
Really?
Oblivion.
Yeah. Isn't that
One
crazy? Yeah.
Did you guys know
and that's
that
why they're all
70
the
people,
same.
70 people made the Outer Worlds? And it was a
70
Game of the Year
people
contender?
read out, like, it doesn't, and you think too, what it takes two, one Game of the Year. How many people is part of?
I don't think there was. I don't think it was even double digits with those guys.
Out of Hazelight, I think it was.
yeah.
Hazelight, I think that was somewhere between 60 and 80 at the time.
Oh, was it more than that? What was the team
so
that there was only like 8 of them that made the game, and it was a really good game. I can't remember what it was.
No
It wasn't that
Man's
long
Sky.
ago.
No Man's Sky. It was a 12-man team. I'm
12
pretty sure
man,
it's
there it
still
is.
12-man team. No Man's
yeah.
Sky.
I think
Still
they
look
got
at that
enough
game now,
money to
holy
go. I
shit.
think they got I'm sure they got money.
I hear people that are celebrating this news that there's all these developers moving to these projects, and I go, okay, but it seems like it almost muddles the vision even more, because now you have so many. Mind you, a lot of them are going to be kind of more ground floor, right? They're this is what you're working on today. You're making this zone, or you're working on this level, or you're working on this quest. But there's just so many disparate ideas now that are coming in. Too many cooks, and that's why, again, it's why you see Ascendant Studios popping up, and I'm just using that because it's on top of mind. But it's happening all the BioShock creators. Not Ken Levine. He's working on. It was shown off recently. What?
Wait, no, not Chris
Ken Levine Studio, Ghost Story Games, Judas.
Judas. Yeah, it was Ken Levine.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have Judas. He's making his own studio and working on Judas. So yeah, it's just crazy to me. Crazy.
Yeah, to put this into perspective, you guys were talking about how many. You said 40%, Mac. That's 800 more developers on top of the 2,000 they already have on the franchise.
Well,
someone
it's
also pointed
only
this
on
out.
Assassin's
This
Creed. That's crazy.
It just only on Assassin's Creed. This is 200 developers less than on every annual Call of Duty. They have the same amount of developers as they would for COD, just on
pump
Assassin's
them out.
Creed.
It's because you got to realize they got
gonna-
2 mobile
no.
games. They got 2 mobile games. And
They
3 big
cannot
games.
afford to do that again.
No, because they can't.
That-
Because look what they
no.
did with their look. It's people got irritated with Valhalla. By the time Valhalla come out, people were worn out with Assassin's Creed games because they were popping them out every year, man. And they were just like, I haven't played. I played
They
like
were-
6 hours of Valhalla, and I just was so drained from playing Odyssey just like 6 months prior to that. And I was
Yep.
like, oh, I just can't do it, man.
Yeah, Mac, they've been annoyed with this ever since Unity back in 2014 when the generation began. Like,
Well-
this is nothing new, but this is only going to get worse if they
think-
if they can't find a way to space this out. They're going to end up with a saturation problem with just one IP.
So
Yeah, well,
now
Call of
I
Duty
can see
2.0.
oversaturation whenever you spread everything thin, like Lex mentioned earlier. Let's look at you guys already know what game I'm going to bring up. Guess how many people
Mass
over
Effect.
5? Oh, no, that is something that I do need to You're close. Over 500 people are working on this game right now.
Starfield.
Starfield. Over 500 people.
Oh, boy.
working on Starfield.
It'd be a
Oh,
mid-game.
boy.
Watch
Oh,
it be a
boy.
mid-game now. Thanks for throwing it out there.
Watch
man.
it be 30 frames per second.
Nah, this is
No.
their dream game. They got
That's
Todd Howard is on top of this one.
That's
Yo,
what
Red,
I-
put in the.
that's
Put
what
in
I
the
was gonna
chat
say.
real quick for Starfield 60 or 30. I want to see what these guys think. I know there's only like 12 guys
Was
in
it-
here right now.
All right.
What,
I'll ask.
It's gonna be
wasn't the
30.
gameplay that was shown off in the release date trailer? They kind of had someone playing it in the background. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Starfield subreddit is crazy in all the best ways, but they're literally insane. And we love them for it. But I think if you look, they were saying how the gameplay in the background actually looked more like it was 60, like it had improved since the gameplay showcase.
So
I don't quote me on that, but
I know they've done a lot of stuff. I know they've changed the mechanics and everything, and the gun game. They got a bunch of guys that come in here just to do the freaking to fix the shooting a little bit because they said it felt wonky. So who knows what it could be? Because that demo is going to be totally different than what we see here, and 2 years later. So who knows? It's so weird. Like they've brought so many other people in just to add on to that. I don't see it being 60 because it's such a big game. But do I want it to be 60? If I can lower the resolution and get 60 frames, I'll be okay with that. Give me 2K or 1080, I'll be fine with it. But some people want that 4K 60 frames, man. I just want to make sure we get 60 frames. I'd rather have 60 over resolution any day. I'd rather have right when I'm turning I can see the game. So
you know what does have 60 frames though?
Not Redfall, I'll tell you that.
Mortal
Not
Kombat
Redfall.
reboot.
Yeah. There we go.
Hey.
Look at that
That's
segue,
crazy.
baby.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on, baby. I brought
Look at
this one
this.
up. This is my big topic of the week for myself. So,
Go ahead. Take it away then.
well,
You go ahead.
we all seen the trailer, or if most of us have, where they showed the countdown with the clock going around. It hit 11. It did like a bolt of lightning, and then it went to 1, which means they already pretty much announced that they're gonna reboot 1 to start it over, get that shit going. We all know if you've played Mortal Kombat, 9 was kind of like a soft reboot. And it wasn't a real reboot. They dragged that story on for 3 more games, and now we're here at 12/1. The biggest thing that I'm about this thing, like you said, we know that fighting game's gonna have 60 frames. It's not like there's that much in the background going on, but who knows? But the biggest thing for me in this game is the DLC that we're already hearing, or possibly characters that are already in the game. And this is the big one for me, is Homelander from The Boys. And I just cannot wait. And who was it that brought that? Was it Matt? What's his name? I can't remember the guy that runs the freaking shit. Was it Boone? Matt Boone? I don't remember his name. His name's Matt.
Ed
something.
Boon.
Ed Boone. There it is. I couldn't remember what it was. I'm really hyped for this. I didn't mean Assassin. We had a conversation about Street Fighter and Tekken and stuff like that not too long ago. And I said I'd rather have a new Mortal Kombat. I'm a Mortal Kombat guy over the other two, so I can't wait for this game. This is what I want as a fighting game. This is it, man. I love Mortal Kombat. I buy them every time they come out. I think I've bought every Mortal Kombat. I think I skipped 5 and 6, but I was also a little bit younger at the time.
Did you hear that?
Wrong to say I'd rather have Injustice 3.
I'm okay.
instead.
I'd rather have both.
Especially
see,
if
I'm
you're
okay
getting
with that.
Homelander.
I'm okay. I'm okay. See, I'm okay with. If they would have done that, I would have been fine with, because it's the same team that does both games.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with it because I liked Injustice. Injustice 2 was amazing. Great fighting, great mechanics, great combos.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, the Flash to me was awesome in that game. I know we always talk about how Flash is so weak in the thing,
Yes.
but Flash was amazing in that. Batman was good. Superman, the bad Superman, was awesome when you had to kill him at the end. Like, I know, well, that's just the skill.
gear-
You don't really kill him, but the
the
game
gear
was
system.
amazing.
I'm sort of
it was
I'm
good.
sort of upset that they're doing another Mortal Kombat, and it's a Mortal Kombat reboot of the first game, so I think that's great, especially for like long-time MK fans. But as someone who likes Injustice a lot, to see them making 2 Mortal Kombat games back to back, and now 3 Mortal Kombat games with the reboot, it's just a bit disappointing. And you know what? Maybe I guarantee you.
Has it been 3 since Injustice 2?
Well,
No.
It's only been
it's
2, I
going to
thought.
be, with the reboot. It's going to be 3, isn't
No,
it?
it's no.
No.
11 come out, and now we're gonna get
So-
the reboot, so it's only 2.
Oh, so was the reboot?
Injustice 2
I
came
thought
out in
12 was coming
2017.
No,
Mortal
that
Kombat
12
11
is
came
the
out
new
in
the reboot.
2019.
Oh,
And 12 is the
Mark-
reboot.
okay. So then I retract everything I've been saying. Because we already knew that was the case. I already grieved about that part, so I don't care anymore.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine then. Yeah. I just
and see, the thing is, DeMarco.
A lot of people. Go ahead.
The thing is, originally before Warner Brothers and Discovery were merging, that was the original idea to have Injustice 3.
Mm-hmm.
But because Warner Brothers wasn't sure if they could hold on to the DC license, if when they merged, they decided to go to Mortal Kombat instead.
Yeah, no, I
But the
understand
original
reason
plan
why.
was Injustice 3, so now that Warner Brothers and Discovery are closer to merging, maybe the next game will be Injustice 3, and I hope it is, because that story, man, it's so good. It was so good that DC themselves even made the Injustice universe a part of the mainstream DC universe. That's how good that series is, and I really want to see it again. I really want to know what's happened with Clark and the Phantom Zone, what's going on with the regime, the insurgency. I want to know what's going on since, we saw Kara and Bruce at the end. At the Fortress of Solitude. I want to know what's happened since
So
then.
they took like a 4-year hiatus of not making a game at all. Like, well, I'm sure they've been making this game, because Injustice come out.
Damn, it's been 4 years.
Mortal Kombat 10 come out. Let me rephrase myself. Come out in 2015. Then Justice come out, and Justice 2 come out in November 2017. I remember getting it for a Christmas present. And then 19 come out, and I remember catching it on sale like a week after it come on sale. I ended up saving like $10 because I was gonna buy it. I just something happened where I didn't get the chance to go buy it. It was and in 2019. So we've been a while since we've had any type of game from this company. That it's time, man. I'm just really surprised. Normally it's like every 2 years, but 4
every
years
2
is
years
a lot.
since.
So do you think...
every 2 years since Mortal Kombat 9 in 2011, every 2 years has been either Mortal Kombat or Injustice.
Yeah, back and forth. So there should have been an Injustice 3 in 2021 is what there should have been naturally.
Sorry,
what is the... So I started playing fighting games because of Injustice, and then I went back and I played Mortal Kombat. I'm not big into fighting games because I've always been a button masher, but I enjoy them when I get that power fantasy. So that's mostly why I lean towards the Injustice series. But what are the benefits of bringing back? Because of course, with a fighting game, you're always getting a lot of characters coming back anyway.
A rinse and repeat situation. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're pulling a Super Smash Bros. Where they bring in every single character with the most recent one. So what's the benefit of remastering the original versus making a proper Mortal Kombat 12?
I think just the story. I think we got a lot to do with the story. The biggest thing is the story. Just to fix the story. Nobody liked the story in 9, 10, and 11. People didn't like it. I thought it was okay. I don't think it was horrible, but they were kind of rinse and repeat on all three of them. It was like a reset on all the time frame on all three of them. So I think it's just to figure out. I mean, because we all know, if you remember the original 1991, 92 Mortal Kombat movies, they literally went back in time in the second one. I think it was.
Do you think it'll tie into the movies?
I think they're gonna go more to the movie base this time. I think because most people that are kids and stuff like that nowadays don't play fight games. It's Fortnite, Roblox, all that bullshit they play. You need to go back to your Mortal Kombat come out in probably 92, 90. The game come out around the same time as the movie, maybe a little bit before, a little bit after. You got to go back and get the old people, the people that really enjoy these fighting games. You got to kind of they're the ones that are buying that game. You got to go what they like, what they want. Don't worry about the kids. They're going to play it. They're going to play it. What they're going to do? They're going to start arcade mode up, and they're going to literally beat the shit out that controller because they have no idea what they're doing. We all did it as kids. I remember playing Dead or Alive 3. I didn't know absolutely shit I was doing. I would hit the same 3 buttons over again just because it's the only combo I knew because it was just what it was. You got to go with the direction of adults in this situation that are older guys. I'm 32. Those movies, I was still in diapers when those movies were coming out, and I played those as a kid on Super Nintendo and stuff like that. So I think that's the biggest thing though. Story, get the story, fix the story the right way, do the story the way everybody wants. Because remember, Mortal Kombat 1 really didn't even have a story back in the day. This is a video game that only had 10 characters, and it had just a little basic tournament mode, and that was it. There was nothing really to it.
Yeah, it was all about the gameplay.
It was fight. It was all it was about. Now we have story. We could bring a couple of the characters that have been gone for a while. I mean, and then you can add more fatalities. That's the only other thing I could think of is just adding more fatalities to the thing or whatever. So.
Yeah, I agree. See, the thing is, what's different about this Mortal Kombat, compared to the other ones, is that this is the first time, I think, Mac, you can clarify me on this or not. Is this the first time that Mortal Kombat has literally reset its own timeline?
No.
Because at the end of 11, it's kind of implied that the next time we would see Mortal Kombat, it would be set in the new timeline where Fire God Liu Kang.
That's what I said. Like, okay, so at the beginning, so they did it in 8 to 9. They did like a soft reboot, just like how we thought we were gonna get from to 12. So they did a little soft reboot that like kind of brought a lot of the characters back. Clearly, they just bring them back and rinse and repeat. So 9, 10, and 11 were a story mode, and then I think it was 5, 6, 7, and 8 were a story mode. So I don't think 1 through 4 really had I think 4 might have had a story, but it wasn't nothing directed towards anything. So I think it's just so it was a little bit of a reboot,
Who's your
Okay.
top 3?
I would love to see them do a Master Chief collection where you could instantaneously change between the old graphics mode and a modern graphics style.
That would be awesome, but it would be
think
also
that
horrible.
Yes,
See, but
I would love
Now
to
the problem would be like for the real gamers who are doing the frames and they know exactly like the distance and all that stuff. You can't do it but you're not going to do that in a competitive scene anyway, being swapping back and forth. So if it's a little bit off for the pixel mode or the old style mode, it's not as big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to optimize for both.
I'm okay if
You just
they add
understand
the
it's gonna
game
be
in there,
clunky.
but I think it would be too hard. Like you hit the back button, it swaps like Halo. I think it would be just way too hard. Like the graphics are way too far apart from each other when it comes to rendering.
They say that about Halo though, no? I mean,
no, not really, because
you do that with the Halo 1 specifically in the Master Chief collection, and it's
but it still was more modernized than what Mortal Kombat 1 was to now. So let's put Mortal Kombat 11 up against this thing. Mortal Kombat 11 looks like the most prized possession fighting game ever, and Mortal Kombat 1 looks like they drew on a piece of paper and kind of just flipped a little book and just how they do that book in the story
it's
mode.
like watching season 1 of The Simpsons. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's like okay, it's kind of odd. I mean, the rendering would be weird. I don't know how you'd be in the middle of a combo and like and it'd go back to the old way and it'd be like just do like the basic one attack. Because back then they only had a couple moves. It was like slide kick and just like they had like 8 total moves for up and down and left and right. That was it. You had 2 buttons and that's it. So and then your jump moves. So there wasn't much going on. So what, 12 moves we'll say? Like I don't know. That'd be really tough. Whoever did that, they'd be pushing some buttons.
Make a good argument, but make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen, motherfucker.
If I'm not getting Injustice 3, give me that. I'll buy it if you do that. I'll buy it if you do that.
Well,
you need the old sound effects too. You need the old sound effects.
I think they'll have that in there. They'll throw the little old sound effects like whoopsie, how they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, Mac, if you can pull Lexi in here. We're gonna do this dang thing, and DeMarcus, you need to help him.
You're the host.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I can't take down Discord is the only thing.
Tell Lexi tell her to invite me, text me on.
What do I need help with?
No,
in the meantime, I have a question for you guys.
Is what I meant.
Okay.
Because you have her on Discord. That's what I meant. Anyway, go ahead, Assassin. Please ask me things. Is this the showcase talk? Xbox and PlayStation?
No, not the showcase talk. It's related to Mortal Kombat, but it's more of the fighting game genre or the fighting game scene in general. With Mortal Kombat and Injustice, NetherRealm is pretty well known for high quality fighting games, and last time we saw Tekken and Street Fighter, they've had their issues. But now it seems like with what's going on with Street Fighter, finally getting the amount of content that it's getting, Street Fighter 6 is highly anticipated. With the World Hub, the Battle Hub, the open world story campaign is actually looking very good. Harada-san is hyping up Tekken 8. He's showing off new characters almost every week. He's talked about the gameplay mechanics, including the heat system. Many people are excited about Tekken 8 as well. How much do you guys think is NetherRealm riding on for Mortal Kombat? Do you think they should be worried that they could lose any mind share to Street Fighter and Tekken, or do you guys think they'll be fine?
I think you're talking about two, if I'm being honest, and this is coming from someone not well versed in the fighting game space, but I think generally speaking, it's people they like their Street Fighter, they like their Mortal Kombat, But maybe Mac knows a bit more about that.
Well, hold on, I'm trying to
know more about it.
No, it's okay.
Wait, my bad. I was trying to find Lexi on Twitter, but I can't.
No, go ahead.
Well, what I'm trying to say, do you think NetherRealm should be not worried, but do you think they should be listening in is what I'm trying to mainly ask.
So you're
Listen,
asking,
so
yeah,
ahead,
sorry. So you're asking, should NetherRealm be taking note of
Yes.
the changes to fundamentally make a splash in the
To make basically.
Didn't we talk about this? Yeah. Didn't we talk about this? I feel like we talked about this. At
No,
one
we did
point.
not,
Not
no.
on the
This is the
show.
first time.
Not on a show. But
I don't think we've ever talked. No, remember I said I didn't want to talk about it because I wanted to talk more about it on the show. So
maybe that's what it was. I can't remember, but yeah,
Right.
because okay, I gotta change this. The majority of fighting games are very straightforward, just fighting games. There isn't really a whole lot of interactivity or social elements to the games, and I think that what Street Fighter is doing is really switching it up. I am actually interested. I am not a fighting game person. I loved Injustice because I'm a DC freak. Let's go. Yeah. So but that's like my exception, and I love Mortal Kombat because it's fun, it's cool. You know, I love the movie. By the way, I don't know if you guys have actually seen the movie. I thought the movie was awesome.
It was fun.
It was very, very fun. I went and saw it in theater. It was very fun. It wasn't like the greatest thing in the world, but it was like one of the better video game adaptation movies. It was fun. So to answer your question, Assassin, yes, because if you're getting me, not a fighting game guy, into the space because of the social elements and the little bit more interactivity, I think yes. Like, I mean, there was a Mortal Kombat game that did something like this. It wasn't where you walked around the crypt, because the crypt has been a thing in other Mortal Kombat games, but there was a Mortal Kombat game where you walked around and talked to people in between
Monks?
fights.
Shaolin monks.
No, Shaolin Monks was a top
you're talking
down.
about, okay? Are you talking about the one where you created your own character and you walked around?
Yeah, and then you fought.
What was the name? Yeah,
But
because you
it-
were like
but it
a,
was still
a
the
young
classic-
shinobi. Yeah. You fought the actual people, but with the newer character. I can't remember which one it is.
But yes, to answer your question, yes, Assassin, yes, yeah. And as soon as Lexi's ready, I'll introduce her, get her all jazzed up.
Mac, what about you?
No, I don't think they should be pressured. I don't see why they would be. I don't. I think they're listening. They're listening to the fans. If you're talking about that, I think they have to when it comes to the game. But outside of that, I think they're fine. I don't think they're pressured. They're gonna sell copies. It doesn't. This is Mortal Kombat. It's like Zelda. It's like all these classic games. They're gonna sell. People are gonna buy them because it's the name. It's like Apple.
Well, this is the first time we might actually get all three major, well-known fighting game franchises within this 12-month
what is
period.
it?
am I
Tekken's
right?
the only one we don't know. Yeah, I think Tekken's gonna be early next year, maybe late this year. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Killer
it would be.
Instinct.
Yeah, we're not going to get Killer Instinct for another 50 years.
Microsoft announces Killer
No,
Instinct 2 at the
listen,
showcase.
fighting
Takes everybody
people-
by surprise.
The thing about fighting people, gamers, let's put that out. I don't want to put people, that's kind of being weird. Gamers, they
That's
tend to
fine,
just buy all of them. It doesn't fucking matter. They buy Soul Calibur, they buy Dead or Alive. They just love fighting games. There's not many of them, though, that love it like people do love shooters. So it might not sell the 20 million copies that it's going to get, but it will sell probably 5 to 10 million copies. They're going to make money off of it. The game it's not like they need the perfect rendering on everything. They can easily do it. The game doesn't have much going on in it, so they can easily fix little small stuff. The game's fine. I don't think NetherRealm needs to worry. They'll sell their copies. They'll make their money. They'll just hopefully they move on to a Justice 3 though. I'm with DeMarc on that. I think after this reboot, the next game within the next 2 years, if it ain't Injustice, then they have a fucking problem because people are gonna start bitching. They're already bitching, so it's only gonna get worse.
Who would you want to see? You said Homelander might be part of it, but if you could have one character, either to Injustice or Mortal Kombat, who would you want to see?
Well, I want to say there's 3 characters that there's been rumored. I told Assassin.
No.
and
But
Red.
who do you want to see? Who do you want to see?
Oh, I'm fine with Homelander. I'm good.
No,
with that.
your
That's-
personal pick.
Okay.
Yeah, Homelander is the best bad guy in movies. I don't give a crap
Ever.
what he does.
Yeah.
He's just awesome.
He's
It does-
terrifying.
when he killed all those
Ugh.
people in that little. I don't know if you guys watched. I don't want to ruin it, but he killed a bunch of people in like a daydream. And let me tell you something. I was like, do it some more, because I'm just sick, bro. Like,
He was like,
I'm very. Well, besides, that's the end of season 2, by the way, what he was doing. So
I meant you while you were watching it is what I meant.
Well, I was that's but Homelander did that at the end of season 2 though.
He
That's
did.
what I'm
Yeah, he's
saying.
like I can do everything. Yeah.
But you know what? It's tough. I would go with probably a couple DC characters. I mean, clearly that's what Injustice is. You can go with the shark guy from Suicide Squad. You can go with
Yep.
yeah. Heck, what about the freaking guy that Pete Davidson played? The freaking guy that lived at the end of Suicide Squad. I can't even the Weasel or whatever. I mean, just stuff like that could be good, man. Like little random people like that, I think would be good. I mean, you could easily Suicide Squad can. That's really where you go because you already got all your mainline characters there. You know. In Injustice, so it would be tough to throw anything else in there that's not DC wise. You know, you can't throw Spider-Man in there because it's Marvel, so it would be kind of hard for them.
I have one. I would want to see Omni-Man or Invincible.
Well, yeah, Invincible would be awesome. I would tell you that. Yeah, but will Amazon allow it though? Will Amazon allow it though? That's the thing, though.
Well, yeah, that's a different story.
We have got.
I'm just saying, if you'd have anybody, I would say
you could do a lot of things.
See.
You could do one-man punch. You could do a couple guys from Attack of the Titans.
That one hurt. Oh, Fluffy would be cool.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. But does it make sense for that type of game? You gotta understand this is.
Oh, I don't care. I'm just saying, just dream.
Yeah, there could be a lot of people. I heard, but the characters are Homelander, Peacemaker, the one that plays by John Cena in the TV show, and then
Peacemaker makes sense.
Conan, I think, is what the other one. I think that's what we got.
Conan O'Brien.
No, Conan the Exile. Yeah. On the night show, I'm gonna kick your ass. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
By
Personal
the way,
pick, DeMarco.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't like
Go.
interrupting, but real quick, Lexi, whenever you're ready, turn on your camera. That way we know that you're ready. You can jump in anytime. Yes. Sorry. Go ahead, Assassin.
To DeMarco's question, personal pick. They did.
Yeah.
So I have two main supervillains that I love so much. Joker was definitely one. How they transitioned him from Injustice to Mortal Kombat in Mortal Kombat 11's DLC was freaking amazing. The one villain that I would like to see from Injustice or just DC in general to Mortal Kombat, if I'm gonna pick, it's got to be Eobard Thawne. It's got to be the Reverse Flash. If they could somehow make him even much more deadlier in Mortal Kombat, I'd be all for it.
When you said Reverse Flash, all I could think about is that meme that I sent you guys about what he did. And I'm sorry, I just
Stop. Yep.
DeMarco, I don't know if you've seen it, but I sent it in the chat. So
I have not had the luxury, but I will check it out soon.
Don't.
I will not check it out
it's
anytime
funny. It's
soon.
funny. It's not bad. It's funny.
It's funny, but god dang.
What about
the sad part is Reverse Flash is so evil. The fact that he could actually do it, he actually would be petty enough to do that shit. That's the sad part.
What's his name? The pen guy. I can't even think of his name. I'm just thinking like some bad guys because they had Freddy Krueger and Jason in there. Why not the Kingpin or whatever his name is? The guy that had all the freaking pin things and it was like it was weird. He only got you. I don't remember what the
Boom.
so many.
You know what else is really weird?
What?
Is that Call of Duty cannot let go of Modern Warfare games. And hence... Oh, no, Lexi being on is it's not weird.
That's why I was laughing. You're like, you know what else is weird? And I was like, what are you doing? Lexi, thank you so much for being here, jumping on in the middle of the ding-dang show. How are you? What are you doing? What are you playing? What are you buying? What's going on?
What do you...
And you're muted.
No.
Microphone issues.
And she's got to grab the thing and pour the tea and get the crumpets and or biscuits or chips. Oh, wait, aren't chips fries?
Is that working?
There we go.
There you
go.
Oh, chips, fries. You just call them chips.
Hey,
Or
are
do you mean
chips
like
fries
crisps?
in the UK? What
Like-
are they? What are chips?
Like what? Do you mean like
Like
I
fish
could-
and chips
like-
are literally like fish and fries for Americans. And we're like, why are they? Where's the chips? Where the hell's my
Yeah,
chips? I want my money
yeah,
back.
those are chips.
Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Have
those
any-
are-
You
have any-
uncultured swine. Why are you asking?
Listen, I'm learning. We're all learning together here on the Renegade Realm Podcast. Yeah, so what do you think about this? You jumped right in the middle. First of all, for anyone who doesn't know Lex, tell people who you are, where you come from, And what have you been playing the most besides Final Fantasy 14?
Lots of just Final Fantasy 14, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
It's my new addiction.
Understood. It's an MMO.
It's understandable.
It's a very well written game. It's very good.
Where do you come from? What's your platform here on YouTube? What are you special? What's your specialty here?
I talk about an unreleased game called Starfield. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
Never heard of it.
no. It's made by this infamous guy called John Smith, video game designer. He wears a twirly mustache, and he wants you to buy Skyrim again.
Nice. I like how he said he wears a twirly mustache. He's like, "Honey, I'm off to work." It's like, "Oh, but don't forget your mustache." She's like, "Honey, what would I do without you?" And he's like, whoosh, slaps it on. Yeah, that's how he does it. Yeah. So, and you're on the Lorefield channel, right? Lorefield channel.
Yes.
Lorefield.net.
I'm one of the founders of the Lorefield Network. We run the Lore subreddit, which is solely that. And we have our own podcast, which Wolf has hijacked, along with DeMarco Dude.
Hey, I was the last entry to these things, and I will not be accused of hijacking nothing.
It was a good time. Yes. Well, thank you for jumping on last second. So we talked a lot about a lot of things, and we're not going to be able to get to everything today. But I do want to jump into because I mentioned MMOs. So apparently, as one of my friends likes to say, sorry, Sean, but there is a Lord of the Rings game in development, and it's going to be an MMO developed by the people who made New World. Or New Worlds, or whatever the hell it was, by Amazon Game Studio, or whatever the hell. I'm talking out of my ass, but Amazon are responsible for what happened there. And they said that they are not making this game specifically for MMO lovers. They're making it for everyone. And that's kind of good to hear. But is this just PR talk? I'm not big into MMOs, but some games don't feel like MMOs that have MMO elements, aka The Division, or Destiny, or there's a sort of feel to the stereotypical MMO. Final Fantasy 14, RuneScape, WoW. You know what I mean? The big old ESO, that kind of stuff. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I don't know if anyone in chat. You know what? If you don't like it, leave. I'm kidding. Please don't leave. But it's the greatest trilogy of all time. Lord of the Rings is great, but a Lord of the Rings MMO game. Now, for the nerds out there, we can talk about when does this take place? Does it take place before Sauron grew horns? He was little baby Sauri, and that's why he got bullied as a little baby demon man, elf or whatever, and that's why he started smacking people with clubs. What does this mean? Who wants to take this? You know what, Lex? You take this. It's a Lord of the Rings MMO game made by New World. Have you played New World? What are your thoughts?
All I know about New World is it's a giant catastrophe, and it didn't do quite well in the end.
No.
God, it started off so. I remember seeing it when it first came out. Every streamer was playing. All the big boy streamers were playing it. Everybody was playing it. And then like a week later, it was just that was it. You never heard nothing about it no more. It died so fast. It reminded me of Path of Exile. If y'all ever played that game.
Jonas in chat.
So,
I think what New World was targeted at like PvP kind of players. And that was kind of like, well, MMOs were very different before WoW came out. WoW kind of really changed the ball, and surprisingly, WoW didn't even have a story, like a overarching one. It's just kind of make your own fun. And that's more of the sandbox nature. That's like what ESO is, and other games like that. Final Fantasy XIV puts a lot more emphasis on an overarching story. So to play expansions, you have to play through the base game, the first expansion, the second, the third, because that gives you the feeling of a progressive. It's more of an RPG than an MMO in that case. But I think anyway, gone off topic. New World, I think it was targeted at a very niche audience of the people that wanted to see a full PvP MMO. We kind of really had to strategize your game loop, I guess. More hardcore.
It's so hard to make a PvP MMO. I know I'm going back a little bit. This is gonna be showing all of our ages here, besides Assassin. No offense, Assassin. RuneScape. If y'all remember when RuneScape first come out, I remember just years, like you'd have to cross the border and go into like they call it like the wild zone or something like, or the wilderness or something like that. And I remember you go across that, people treated you like a freaking crumb on that, where you jump, you go 10 feet, you're dead. There's going to be like 10 guys ready to whip your ass. And that's the problem with MMO PvPs to me, is not everybody has friends. Not everybody has tons of friends. And not everybody can make friends like that on a video game. So it's hard for a PvP to succeed when it comes to that. That's why I always think these PvP MMOs just fail so miserably, because of it all started back in 2000 whatever one with RuneScape of people just whipping your ass on the wilderness. I remember you paid membership as a kid. You were like, "Hey mom, can I get $5?" You go pay for the membership, and then you just walk up there and you lose your blue dragon rune armor, and you thought you were a badass, but the whole time these guys are like 99 overall. They're maxed out and they're just whipping your ass. That's the problem with it. People have more spare time. They have more friends. New World, like you said, it was directed towards that, but when you started playing it, it was like Path of Exile, and then it got boring because you didn't really get to that PvP section until way later on in the game, and people don't want that, and they want that PvP, but you also want people that want the single player mode, which was, it's like, it just didn't work well. I didn't care for it. I played it for about 12 hours, and I just never turned it back on again. It just wasn't for me. And I'm a hardcore gamer, so I want to kill people. I want to be that guy up in the wilderness with a bunch of my friends laughing at that noob that walked up there like a dummy. I don't care. That's me, but it's just how it is. It's just, that's the problem.
It's interesting. It's like Fallout 76 is like they I know it's not an MMO, but they developed that game with the intention that they thought people would want to engage with the PvP, and then and you're talking about a completely different audience, so I understand that it's not a one-to-one comparison at all, but
yeah, same
point is they come in and they want the PvE, they want those other parts of the game fleshed out more than the PvP part. It's much more fun for most.
Yeah, I don't turn Halo on to play. I don't turn Halo on to go, I can't wait to play the campaign every day. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where it's just like, it could be any genre of PvP to you know, to PvE, you know, naturally, or even just like, you know, if you ever played RuneScape or WoW, you can understand it. You don't have to do the same shit over and over again. But the PvP section just in New World was just, it just didn't bring it like it was supposed to. So 12 hours in, and I still couldn't just enjoy it after that. I'm done with this shit. I can't do it anymore.
I guess the question here is, what? First of all, raise your hand if you are a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
Can I do it like halfway? I like it, but
if you start questioning me on the Silmarillion, I'm not going to be able to.
No, not like nerdy lore stuff. I just mean like it. Really, you're like Lord of the Rings. You're like, let's go. What?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
What would you like to see in the realm of? Well, not realm. Well, yes, Lord of the Rings. Like, what kind of MMO?
Yeah.
Oh, like the whole entire game is just the Two Towers?
You don't want Conquest? Yeah. You don't want Conquest again? Come on.
Oh, dude, Conquest was great. Made by Pandemic
Two Towers
Games.
Was the better one, though. I will say, but Conquest was good for what it was.
Those games were happening alongside of the movie video game. Remember, every single time a game or a movie would come out, they was followed by a game that was pretty bad, except for the Spider-Man games. That was the exception. But which weren't.
My bad.
What? Like, so has anybody played Shadow of Mordor? Has anybody played the Shadow of Mordor or the Shadow
PTSD.
of War?
I forgot completely
I have
about that. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
See, those are
Holy
Assassin's
shit.
Creed type games, but it's gonna be. Are they? I don't know. It varies on what they do with it. Are we get like you said, it's New World. It's a New World creators. Are we gonna get that up and down like above platform like New World? Are we gonna get the third person aspect like maybe Black Desert Online or Assassin's Creed? What are we gonna get out of this? It kind of leads to what we get is where I'm gonna be. Oh, this is gonna be worth it because, like I said, I've played so much RuneScape and all these other games. These new it's hard to enjoy a game that I've played so much already. We need third person. If you're gonna, I don't know. It just leads to whatever it is. But it's Lord of the Rings. So if you like it, try it out. That's all I can say.
1 second.
Keep
talking, please.
Here comes with a question here in chat, or not. And he's dead.
He was gonna ask what would you want to see out of an MMO specifically out of an MMO.
It's hard. It's Lord of the Rings.
But there's already a Lord of the Rings online. It still
literally
runs
is
to
called-
this day. Yeah.
Yeah, it literally runs. To this day.
It's still got an
popular.
active it's
Yeah.
very popular.
Yeah, it's
Because
I literally
Josh
was just watching
Strifehanes,
it.
who's Josh Strifehanes, he reviews MMOs, like many bad MMOs or old MMOs. He's covered Lord of the Rings online, and I recommend you watch that video. It's a very good video.
Yeah, it's what is it? Sandstone Games or something like that. I can't remember who makes it or who. Runs
Yeah,
it
they also run the Dungeons and Dragons online game.
Okay.
But you can't use the same email for the each one of them. You have to use different emails for the two separate. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, you think they're like the same game pretty much. Well, same company, so it's like Blizzard.
But
download WoW and play another one.
Here's the weird thing about the Lord of the Rings online. It has the rights to only the books and not the extended material that Token made. So they can only follow the books. The lore. Sorry, they can only follow the lore to what the books say. Of the 3 books.
Oh, that's what they said. That's what you want, or is that what they actually have to do?
Oh, in the actual Lord of the Rings game, that's what they have the rights to.
Oh,
What I
okay.
believe.
So
They only have the rights to use what was in the books, rather than.
well, that's good though. That's what
Yeah.
a lot of people like the books. A lot of people want. Yeah, but some people only know the movies because some people don't read. So
Yeah.
but I'm fine with that. But like I said, how do you make it an MMO with Lord of the Rings? I know you could. Would you start off? Would you be like a dwarf? Would you be an elf? Like it's gonna be the common MMO games we're gonna get. But where do they lead with that? I don't. Thank God I'm not developing it because I don't know where you would go with that at all. Besides the normal way of what every MMO and all these Path of Exiles and Diablo games and New World games is, you make your character, you build it, and then you do 3,000 quests and the game's over. So it's just that's where it leads to. That's what kills me with these games. There's nothing new.
The Lord of the Rings online, it's set during I think it's Frodo's quest. Because you can meet Gandalf, you can meet Gollum, you can go through areas that are in the books and they recreate them almost perfectly. Like the descriptions Tolkien gave, they are fully fleshed. Like you can go through the forest where the hobbits went through. But obviously that wasn't in the movies, so if you've only watched the movies, that was actually cut. They skipped over that part. But in the books, they cut through a forest.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil's forest.
And you can't go. You don't go on the direct route they go on. You go through a different way to get out of the forest. So stuff like that.
Okay, interesting.
So I'm real quick before. Hold on. I'm reading what this the Lord of the Ring online. I know there's players playing. But it says there's 4 different. Starting off the game, there was 4 different races. Then they brought 3 more on throughout the next few years of expansions. And then they had a bunch of different types of class between Burglar, Captain, Champion, Guardian, Hunter, Lord Master, and Minstrel. And then they added 2 more called Rune Keeper and Warden. So, you could do something like that again. I don't see why you would. I'm sure they will. That's kind of where they have to kind of lead with it anyway. So, and that Golem game, I don't bring that game up. That game looks poo-poo. I'm sorry. I cannot. I have no interest in that game at all.
Have you heard they're locking the Elvish original language behind a deluxe edition? Like you can play the game, you can play the entire game in the Tolkien Elvish language because he fully made that language. The Chadi was,
But why would they go behind the deluxe edition? That's
Yeah, exactly. You'd think that would be available in the normal edition
Yeah,
because
just-
that's the
it would
actual
sell the-
Elvis language.
They
Yeah.
would sell the game. Somebody would be like, "Oh man, I can do that." I don't know why they do all this deluxe edition and all that. I hate this shit. Sorry.
Sorry, Chad is killing me.
Put them in the stew. No, you mean Arcane. Oh, here, let's read this. All right, go ahead. Go ahead with the next one. Red. Sorry,
You guys,
I'm
you guys
sorry.
have seen that meme, right? The meme. It was like, so it looks like people are. It's not even a meme. It's something that actually happened, where people were putting potatoes in their ass. Which, hey, look, it's totally cool,
Well,
man.
listen,
if that's your
assassin,
thing.
we're worried about getting demonetized. He's talking about putting taters in his ass. Just remember that.
But then the meme came out, and it had Samwise going, potatoes.
I said nothing.
Mash them, boil them, stick them in my ass, and it had the whole meme. Anyway.
we're gonna be on the front page of XNXX.
Oh,
I'll
man.
tell you that.
Welcome to the Renegade Realm. Listen. All right.
Do
like I said-
gamers stick taters in their ass? That's gonna be our description. That's what's
Yeah, a new epidemic going around. Potatoes in gamers' assholes, growing out of their ears. Lexi's
I
like, why did
I think you've taken that South Park episode way too far.
yeah.
Was it a South Park thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they thought if they put food up their rectum, would they
They
poo out
puke it
their
out.
mouths?
Yeah, they poop out of their mouth.
And
They were
they-
really doing it.
South Park,
they
I
were.
didn't even know.
He's like, I bet
No.
you $20 you can't do it. And he's in there, trying.
No, it was a legitimate thing, like this national like news thing, and people were like, people are going to hospitals because they're like getting, is it sepsis? I can't remember what it was. People were going to the hospital because something in potatoes are not good when they go straight into your bloodstream or whatever.
You know what else needs
And,
to go straight into my bloodstream?
what's that?
Is-
There we
Next
go.
topic.
It is the next topic.
Let's go.
Some Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Oh shit, Assassin, you son of a bitch. This is I love it here. And listen, if you love it here too, hit the like button and share this out. And by the way, Lexi, I don't know if you have if Mitch is in control of the Twitter, tweet this out if you can. That'd help us out. That'd be really helpful. And so Assassin, you're the one. You're the only exception. Like Haley Williams said. God, I love her. Tell me about. Never mind. What am I saying? You never played Metal Gear Solid, but you did bring this topic up, and I want to know. Mac. All right.
God damn it, Mac.
Metal Gear Solid 3 it may not be a PlayStation exclusive. Please continue with this news.
So, on the recent Xbox 2 podcast, led by Jez Corden and Randall19, the man with a million, Jez revealed to the audience and the chats during that last show, or podcast show, Metal Gear Solid 3, the supposed leaked remake that will be supposedly shown at the PlayStation Showcase in the next couple weeks, is not actually a timed or permanent exclusive, similar to Silent Hill 2's remake. What he's heard is there is some form of exclusivity with Metal Gear Solid 3, but he's not entirely sure if it's timed exclusivity, whether it's DLC exclusivity, whether it's timed or not, or if maybe they just have exclusive marketing deals with Sony. But from what he's heard, he's now 50-50 that maybe Metal Gear Solid 3 may launch on Xbox A1 when it comes out, but don't quote him on it. He said,
Well, Jez
pretty
is-
much.
Jez is like it. So DeMarco, I don't know if you know who Jez. Do you know who Jez is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
No, he's,
so you
he's
know the
very
dealio.
reliable for
Yeah. Okay. So I want to make sure you knew that because he normally says it, and around this time, if he says it, it normally is pretty much it's like 95% true. So unfortunately, it's stupid. So I don't. The Castlevania thing irritates me with that. I love Castlevania more than anything. It's one of my favorite games, and just I can't stand it.
Yeah. So was that it, Assassin? Was that all the? That was it.
Yeah, that's the main thing. He just said that he knows that there's some form of exclusivity with Metal Gear Solid 3 with Sony, but he's not entirely sure if the game is itself exclusive to Sony. He mentioned marketing, he mentioned possible DLC exclusivity. Just don't be surprised if it's exclusive to Sony, but don't also be surprised if it's not. Just, it's 50-50 according to him.
He's like, don't quote me on this, but anything could happen.
Yeah.
Don't.
That's like pretty much the, don't quote me on it. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this. I mean, it's exciting, but who knows? Like, it could go from Metal Gear on PlayStation and
All right,
Plastic
Sony,
Gear
you
on
heard him.
Xbox,
He doesn't
you know?
care about Metal Gear. Make it exclusive to PlayStation, please.
No, what if they
You heard him right here.
downgraded it on Xbox and PC? You know, so we got Plastic Gear Solid
they don't-
3.
Then blame Konami.
I wouldn't be surprised about some kind of marketing deal. That's common though. That happens all the time. All the time. That's a regular thing. What's gonna really Sony, if any kind of exclusivity might happen, they'll probably be looking at what Microsoft is doing with Activision, and even though there's a whole mess going on with that deal at the moment, they'll probably looking and going, oh no, Microsoft is playing hardball, so we gotta do the same here. So Metal Gear, come here. You want to hang out in our side of the court? And Metal Gear goes, that's a lot of hundreds you got there. And then Sony brings it. So, but you look at something like Hogwarts Legacy though. Hogwarts Legacy had the marketing deal with Sony. So, listen, if it helps get PlayStations in the house, that's what Sony really cares about. And if you're marketing Metal Gear for PlayStation, people buy into it.
I get that sentiment. It's just if I'm expecting marketing exclusivity mainly from Sony. I mean, we talked about this a while ago. Whenever Sony markets a game, it gets people's attention everywhere. They did it with Hogwarts. They did it with Resident Evil 4. They do that with Metal Gear. I mean, it's going to drive PlayStation 5 sales through the roof. A lot of people have been asking for Metal Gear to return. It's been, 8 years since 5? Phantom Pain?
Has it been?
Came out in 2015. It has been 8 years, yes. So a lot of people are asking Metal Gear to come back. This is their chance. If it's exclusive to one platform, people are going to either suck it up or they just won't buy it. Like, Red probably won't buy it because, he hates Metal Gear, despite him saying he loves it. But,
Even though I own all of them, I hate them. I just hate buying them.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
like how I own every Assassin's Creed, but I hate Assassin's Creed now.
Exactly. Yep.
Of course, yes. Here, I mean, that's what I'm expecting. Just, if it's multi-platform, definitely marketing exclusive. If not, then I'm not surprised. It's going to be 1 year timed exclusive, just like Silent Hill 2. And for the record, Microsoft has a very terrible track record of marketing the wrong AAA games. I mean, Cyberpunk, yes, it's good now, but at launch it was Battlefield 2042, it was I mean, what? They can't catch a break. They can't make first-party games and then they market the third-party games that end up fucked up at launch. Like, Microsoft can't catch a fucking break.
Yeah, Sony's really sneaky. I mean, I always think back to the KOTOR remake on exclusivity. Always kind of shocks me.
Yeah.
When I think about that, and so Sony's capable of some sneaky things. We know that, and they're willing to do it. And so I can very well imagine, Metal Gear team goes. Sony's like, hey, look, and they open their shiny briefcase, and Metal Gear goes, how many hundreds is that? And then they go, oh, that many. Oh, that many.
Like,
okay. And they're playing ball in that court. So I just know that Sony's capable of sneaky things. And I know that they're probably a bit nervous. Even with all the drama going around the Activision Blizzard deal, I know they're probably a bit nervous. So
I just don't get it.
I'm not saying I want it. I hate exclusivity for what it's worth. I even as someone who plays on PC, so I kind of get the best of both worlds. Right, because Sony's slowly starting to adopt PC, even though it's like 4 years later, but slowly starting to adopt it. And Xbox, of course, is now all in on PC, so I get right in the middle. But I still think exclusivity sucks. I know it happens. I'm not naive, but
I just don't. What I don't get on Xbox's point of view is why do they all like Assassin? They always just hit and they're swinging and they just strike out because they always anything they get. I think the only thing I could think of is the Tomb Raider series is that they've done really well on. and that's it. Like I can't think. Maybe
Sea of
Titanfall 1
Thieves.
was good. Yeah, well, Sea of Thieves is like that's only
Yeah,
set for a
Assassin's
certain-
Creed Oranges was.
I mean,
Battletoads was.
well, see,
Pretty much
Battletoads.
everything.
If you played the old Battletoads
Was
to this one, it's not that
Shredder's
good.
Revenge?
Shredder's that was exclusive to Xbox.
No, I'm asking.
It shouldn't have been.
No, I don't think that was. I didn't know. Battletoads was okay. I mean, it wasn't like the old style Battletoads. It was more easier than the new ones, than the old ones. Excuse me. So I didn't care for it as much. I just
Yeah, I mean,
but we're talking
Black-
AAA. We're talking games that are like they're gonna be a reason why somebody buys this console. Metal Gear Solid and Castlevania. Some old head guy that hasn't played video games in 5 or 6 years, maybe 10 years. You know, they've been thinking about buying a new console, and then they walk up in the game store and go, "Well, what games are coming out? Oh, this game called Castlevania. Oh, this game called Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. Oh, wow, I played it as a guy. You know what? I'm just gonna go with that console because that's what I played as a child, and it brings back me a little bit of memory, and I'll buy it." So I think that's where they need to hit on that a little bit more. Like, I don't understand, and they got money. It's not like we all know they're not a broke company. I mean, I think this ABK deal is shoved they're up that ABK deal's ass so much that they're not thinking about other stuff right now, and that's their biggest problem.
To your point, Mac, if you look at all the exclusivity deals, that whether it's marketing or whether it's full-on timed or permanent exclusivity, Sony's been targeting the franchises that they've had great relationships or great associations with for years.
I mean, when
Final
Metal Gear come
Fantasy, Metal Gear, Silent
Yeah.
Hill. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Kingdom Hearts had the same type of reaction as well.
out, I mean,
Devil
yeah.
May Cry, Resident Evil. Microsoft really needs to lean in on that nostalgia factor, like you mentioned. I mean, yes, Mass Effect may be on everything, but would we really be surprised if Mass Effect 4 was an Xbox exclusive? Or if the next one?
I don't. I think it.
Or the next
I hope it's
BioShock?
not. I hope it's not. I hope they're timed exclusive. I'm okay with the timed exclusive, but if you completely take it off in the six, like you're gonna do
Yeah,
it.
but
man.
Mac-
I hate that.
Yeah,
shit.
but Mac, Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposed to be timed, and it's still not here.
Yeah, there's because they're you know what it is because at the bottom of that printed line says until the game is completely done a year afterwards. So we got 2 more Final Fantasy VII's episodes before we can, in the year after that before it comes out. People didn't read the fine print on that
2028,
book.
baby.
Yeah, we're talking
2028.
we're talking
Well,
Xbox Series 1200 or whatever the hell it's going to be called.
When it comes to Square, they actually have a full-on contract with Sony that says
Yeah.
Sony can say what games are going to come to PlayStation and what games aren't going to come to Xbox.
Yeah.
And 16 is one of those games, and 7 Remake is currently one of those games. But Xbox got Final Fantasy 7
Crisis Core.
Crisis Core Reunion, yeah.
Yep.
They got that
Yeah.
because that was a spin-off. That's not a main title. It's connected to the
Small.
7 Remake.
Yeah.
They'll get that. Which is unfortunate.
I'm in the camp, Lexi. I'm sorry. Microsoft should just... Microsoft shouldn't care about their relationship with Square Enix anymore. I'm sorry. They just should... The fact that their relationship has gotten this bad and they've been in the same industry for more than 20 years and their relationship hasn't changed at all. I'm sorry. It's time to cut ties. It's time to just give up.
It's probably a good thing considering Square Enix got rid of their CEO because he wasn't pushing NFTs and crypto Web 3.0 stuff enough. So I think it's a good thing Xbox are getting away from all that stuff.
Well, what's
But
gonna
I will
happen is-
say there's only the Final Fantasy devs who are also the same studio that makes 16. They are the only good studio in the Square Enix.
Oh, they're
Because
the only good
they have
division?
proven themselves, yeah. Which is
Yeah, well-
Creative Business Unit 3 or something. They have a weird
Well,
name.
Yoshi P was the creative director for 14, which you're playing, right?
Yes, yeah. Well, he took over. He previously worked on Dragon Quest.
Yeah, that's
it
where a
was-
lot of the hype
yeah.
for 16 came, because a lot of people trusted
Yeah,
Yoshi P
'cause-
because he brought 14 back from the brink of death.
Exactly, and he incorporated the 1.0 story into the reboot or relaunch.
Right.
And they're getting a graphics update.
Oh, are
10
they?
So what
years
you're saying
on.
is we need to make Yoshi P the CEO of Square Enix.
See,
Yeah,
I was seeing a
I'm-
thing on
I'm really
I'm for it.
worried. I'm really worried about Yoshi P's division because of Square's pushing NFTs. I don't want 14 to be pushed on that. And I know Yoshi P is
yeah.
against that, against all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if the Square executives want it, they'll either remove the OCP or they will get their way. And that's the unfortunate part of this industry is, they're making the money.
Well, look at Octopath Traveler, right? They said, I was seeing a thing that says that the reason why Part 2 didn't come to Xbox is because it didn't sell well. And I'm thinking, like, there's no way it didn't sell, because I know so many people that's played that game and loved it. Like, they literally talk about how great that game reminds them of old school, RPGs and stuff. And I don't understand how they can say the game didn't sell well, and that's the whole reason why it didn't come out on Xbox. First of all, they made the money back from the Game Pass. There's no way in hell Xbox didn't hand them millions of dollars to put that game on that Game Pass. So they already made their money there. And then the people that bought it on top of it, it irritates me. It's got to be somewhere, like you said, the whole PlayStation thing. And, it's sad that we're here, but the rate they're going is they keep this shit up, there won't be no such thing as Square Enix in 10 years from now. Because as much as I like to say I'm buying Final Fantasy 16. I liked 14. I just don't want to pay for it no more. I love 7. I think 7 Remake was amazing. I played Crisis Core. I'm a Square guy. I love Final Fantasy. I love Kingdom Hearts. But who the hell? I mean, you're literally gonna like push your own self down to debt, into bankruptcy, or possibly not have. You're gonna have to start begging other companies to pay for your games to come out, because you're not gonna be making much money. And then let the Sony to say what you can do with your games is just that's dumb. Like, you're not a freaking. They don't own you. So why would you do that? Even if, let's say, Final Fantasy 16 was to come to Xbox and it sold 1 million copies, that's 1 million copies times 60, or now 70, excuse me. Just in the Western area, 70, I'm sure it's more everywhere else. We'll just use the, that's $7 million, or what is $70 million, excuse me. So, I mean, that's a lot of money to lose just because you went a little like, oh, we got to obey what Sony says. Just $7 million can pay for your whole bills for the whole year. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of money, and I just don't understand how you would want to put yourself in a situation like that with your game. And I'm guaranteed it would sell more than that. I'm guaranteed it would probably sell about 3 to 5 million on an Xbox. That's 16 alone. So I don't get these companies why they do that. It's a third party. It's been third party for years now. For the last 10 years, we've had so many Square games on PlayStation, on Xbox, on everywhere, and then now all of a sudden within the last like 4 years, Xbox is just getting money had it real bad on it, and we're not getting it. It's just stupid. I feel bad for people that love these Final Fantasy games, that love Final Fantasy 15, but they don't have the money to buy a PlayStation 5 and move on to that because of this. It's like, it's such situations like that suck. People that just can't afford it.
Yeah, here's the thing I don't understand when it comes to the publishers. I mean, we all saw many publishers make many mistakes last generation. We saw Ubisoft, they're still fumbling with the having the same formula for every single one of their games, but at least from the upcoming lineup that we saw for their 2024 lineup, they're trying to change that a little bit. Bethesda, they learned their lesson with Fallout 76. I think we can all sort of agree there. I mean,
they fixed
Fallout 76
a lot of the problems wrong with the game.
Yeah, they fixed it. They fixed ESO because they had problems at launch. They're focusing on single-player games like they should have been. EA has backtracked on their whole multiplayer games as a service initiative, and they're bringing some killer single-player games as we all saw recently with Dead Space, Wild Hearts earlier in February. We got Mortals of Avium in July. Of course, Red is excited for that one.
Me too.
We saw Capcom go from Crapcom to Cap God.
Well, they were starting to do it. They were starting to do that shit where Square was doing. They were starting to.
Yeah, they were, and then they turned themselves around.
I think they started realizing that, like, hold up, whoa, wait a minute, something's going on here. We're not making as much money as we were, and I think they realized it. So.
Yeah, it seems like the one publisher that just does not seem to want to learn from their mistakes is Square Enix. It's just, why? Well, that these initiatives are going to drive you to the ground. Like, why are you so dead set on shooting yourself in the foot?
Well, the thing about Square Enix is they sold their Western studios recently. Yep. They sold Tomb Raider.
Another big mistake.
Warner Brothers Games.
Square right now are focused on the Japan side. And when it comes to Final Fantasy 14, the Japanese audience comes before the Western audience. That's why there's no data crosslinks. Like, we can't play with Japanese people without going to their servers because there's culture, but also it's a hard technology to pull off. Connecting to but
Yeah.
also it's if like people like me in England started complaining about something, it would be until the Japanese audience pick it up that the devs would look into it probably. And I can't say this for truth, so take this as a bias, but to them, Japan is their main audience, and that's more important to them than us over yonder.
What about? I mean, Sony alone. I mean, look at the consoles. The consoles that sell on PlayStation in the Asian area, that China, Japan area, like that. The PlayStation is like God. It's them and Nintendo, but like PlayStation's like the other thing. Everybody, you either own a PlayStation or own a Nintendo, and normally it's both. Over there. So they don't play Xbox, so they don't give a shit about stuff like that over here. So it makes sense why they wouldn't care. They don't give a shit about the Xbox at all. So Microsoft is meaningless to them. So I mean, they're not going to talk about it. Why would you? It's like it's like you go to McDonald's or Burger King or something, like you don't talk about Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. You don't talk about it. It's just that scenario. It's just they're not going to bring this up because they don't need to, because they don't.
The thing with
Xbox.
Care. The thing with Xbox in Japan, and we talked about this before, it's just that they need games that appeal to the Japanese audience. And I remember when Hi-Fi Rush came out, a lot of people from the Japanese Xbox community say that this is a good start, but they need to be consistent on that front as well if they want to get more Japanese people invested in the Xbox ecosystem. And that's going to take a shit ton of time, but with publishers like Square Enix not showing their support, it's going to take even longer, and it's going to be much harder for them. Which is why I'm glad they're partnering with publishers like Sega. When they brought over Persona, they brought over Yakuza. Someone remind me, did they bring over Virtua Fighter, or has that always been on Xbox?
I thought that was on Sega back in the day, so I don't know.
No? Okay. But you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, Capcom is obviously still supporting Microsoft. So is Bandai, so is Sega. It just seems like Square apparently is dead set on learning the hard way. And yeah, what Lexi said is true. Their main fan base is Japan. But you could pretty much say the same thing about Electronic Arts and FIFA. And like, their main audience is practically the UK, but there's still a ton of people here that love FIFA. I mean, it's you don't want to cut out part of the audience just because you don't think that audience is not going to grow. I mean, that's not exactly a good business way to go about it. I understand why they're doing it. It's just, it doesn't seem long term that it's going to work out for them.
I mean, it's
at least to me.
We're in a time where the world's more connected than ever, and I think the cultures around the world should be talking with each other more, because this is how the world is now. Like, we're never going to learn unless these other cultures, we all interact with each other, east, west, just in general. And I think so far now we're just not focusing on, like, say if I was to make an MMO with the team I'm working with, I want to focus on everyone's opinion, regardless of where they come from. But that's me. I'm coming with a zoomer mindset, I guess.
That's just because you're so fast. You're zooming around all the time. So speaking of which, let's get off of this. My favorite Metal Gear Solid game is Metal Gear Solid 3. And it seems like the chat pretty much agrees out of the 8 people, including me, so 7 other people. This was a really.
I'll be sure to have fun playing it for the first time. If the remake is true, if the remake is real, I'm definitely going to play that Metal Gear first.
Oh, man, that's such a. Because 3
you didn't put Metal Gear Solid 4.
I know. I just only have 4 options. The poll thing is screwing me up.
How dare you miss 4?
You put 5 over
4. The only game only available on the PS3.
Well, the only reason that I put 5 was because it is the most modern. It's the most accessible, if you will. It's the one that people, if you hadn't played a Metal Gear Solid game, this might be the one that you would play, because it didn't really stick to too many of the classic tanky controls and all that kind of stuff. Metal Gear Solid 3 and 4 is really when they started doing that, and then 5 was like, fuck it, we're going full third person, over the shoulder open world. Anyway, so let's talk about this thing. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is coming out in 2023? Question mark?
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. Good topic. All right. Let's go to.
Yep. Great.
All right. No. That's crazy. Is that not a little soon? Am I crazy? Am I?
Yes.
Soon?
Yes. Oh my God! I want to.
Yeah.
Shoot
So
myself.
here's the thing. Exactly. Almost 6-8 months ago, they were like, because here's the timeline. We're not going to have anything in 2023 related to Call of Duty. Oh, we're going to have an expansion for Modern Warfare 2 in 2023. Oh, we're going to make it a 1.5 update for Modern Warfare 2022. And now it's how did you go from nothing this year to a full-on game in the span of 8 to 10 months? How the fuck does that happen? And this is not Infinity Ward, by the way. This is Sledgehammer doing this.
Yeah, so it's a totally.
This
different
is not
company.
Infinity Ward here.
So first of all, I think what it is, I think they're trying to get one more game for Sony. I think Sony says, okay, we need you guys to push one more game. I'm being serious. I'm not doing this because I think Sony's pushing this because they're not going to get no more after 25 or 24 is going to be the last one. So their deal's up. So if this Activision deal, no matter what, we all know Activision is not gonna be working with Sony anytime. I would be if that contract got renewed, if this deal doesn't go through for the ABK thing. I know we're not gonna talk about it. If there's somehow they're just never gonna renew that contract. So I think Sony's pushing that out right now to get it out of the way because they probably have their demands. So but I don't understand it. Like, why not make Advanced Warfare 2 or something like? Just change the. I don't get why you read. We just had MW2. It's like, I just.
Can we finally get a continuation of Ghosts, please?
Yeah,
I'd
that's
like
fine.
to see a continuation of that story. I've been waiting 10 years.
Yeah, we literally. I think he's in the chat right now. I think you might have seen him in the chat. Me and Truly were just talking about that. And see Steph if he's been in the chat sometimes. We've talked about how Ghost story was good. It's just where are we at on that, you know?
Yeah.
No, see, here's the thing. I'm just gonna ask this just because ever since I played 2019, I've played Modern Warfare since 2019. I researched the franchise. I researched, how everybody reacted to every single Call of Duty and what the current stance is right now. To Activision, that's like asking them to give a sequel to the worst Call of Duty game in the franchise. Which I know is not true. I know a lot of people hate Ghost. But I'm pretty sure, don't a lot of people hate Infinite Warfare a lot more?
I thought Advanced Warfare was...
Advanced Warfare got the hate because of the microtransactions. It didn't get the hate for gameplay. It got the hate because they pushed them boxes so much. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people hated Ghost, not because of the gameplay or the multiplayer, but because, ironically, the story.
Yeah.
Like, according to them, it just didn't make any sense.
Ghost was fine. People that bitched about it, I think a lot had to do with the maps. The maps were bad. They weren't the greatest maps, but the story was fine. The story it ended like how I wanted. I want more, so.
The space levels, phenomenal in that game. Absolutely phenomenal. There's like 2 levels you get to play in space. And with the 0G, it's just awesome.
Yeah, the game
when you're in the
good,
space station.
Yeah, listen, Assassin, I'm not. Unfortunately, you've come in Call of Duty at the worst time. I think from 2019 to now are the worst Call of Duties in a while. I will say Cold War was fine. I will say that was probably the best one out of all of them. But there's too much. They're working on Warzone and they're getting that live service what brings the money. All that bullcrap that brings them. They're not looking at the actual game and saying this is what we need. Why does my internet keep flicking on and off?
The last Call of Duty I thoroughly enjoyed was the original Black Ops.
Yeah, I mean I'm going Black Ops 2 was the last one I truly enjoyed. Black Ops 3, all the
Black Ops 2 was step down.
I think Black Ops 2 was really good. Like, you could have custom loadouts in the campaign.
Yeah. And 3. Also, Black Ops 3 was like that too, where you could do the custom
Cold
loadouts.
War was
and you could
really
go back and you could unlock them.
Sorry.
You could unlock some cool stuff. And
Cold War was a true return to form for me narratively from what people loved about Black Ops. If you guys have not played the story for Cold War, holy fucking shit. You have that. Like I said, just play the story. It's amazing.
The 2019 campaign for Modern Warfare is what got me into the franchise to begin with.
Yeah. It's my favorite. And Modern Warfare 2's campaign was fucking awesome too. I was like,
It was, yeah.
so good, so good. It's so good. I do agree.
Infinity
with,
Ward
like,
nails the campaigns.
Yeah, man. That's a thing. Like the support for the
all of them.
games
Every one of them's been good.
Yeah, they've all been good in their own way. I think what people didn't like about Ghost, it didn't make sense because of where the story was going with the Modern Warfare games, and it wasn't even. It's not even canon. Essentially, it's not in the same timeline. Obviously, it's like post-apocalyptic.
Assassin, I want you to do me a favor, Assassin. You always talk about some games are pretty hard and stuff like that. I want you to go play Call of Duty 4 and World at War, and I'm talking about this is 2007, 2008. I want you to turn those campaigns. I want you to turn those campaigns on. I'm not talking about the reboot. I'm not talking about the reboot's easy compared to what it was. And I want you to put those games on veteran. I want you to put them on the hardest difficulty. And when I tell you the headaches that fucking shit gave me as a first-person shooter, it's the only game I've ever threw my controller. We've always talked about. I always make sure I keep my stuff intact. World at War made me throw my controller. I didn't throw it at the wall. I threw it at my bed. I literally spiked my fucking controller
out your window, killed the neighbor's cat, hit the garden hose, which causes an electrical spike.
No, it wasn't a cat. It was a llama.
Oh shit, those llamas.
And when I tell you, that's literally the only game that's ever truly pissed me. I don't throw them. I didn't have money back then. I'm not spending the money now. Now that I know I gotta pay for it. I tell you, they're the hardest campaigns in the history of like first-person shooters. Those are it, man. And I'm telling you, they just rinse and repeat. Them enemies just keep spawning and they keep spawning. It's just not fun, man. It's just that's a headache and a half. If you want a headache, go play that game. That's worse than
World at War was my favorite Call of Duty, so go play it.
I mean, anything from 2007 to about 2016. I think Black Ops 3 was fun and 4.
And Black Ops 1 because Black Ops 1 continued World at War in a way.
Well, yeah, it did.
It was all connected. That was what I was saying.
Remember the chair? That's the whole chair thing. That's the way you did with the chair. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Black Ops hit a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah, it's good. Black Ops 1 is my favorite.
The scene when they get in the chamber and then you're playing as Reznov and he's watching his friend and that whole thing, and it was like his quotes, the quotes that he gives. I don't want to say anything because
I know. That's what I was gonna say. I was like,
the game's a million years old. You have the character that you play as from World at War, and he's in a gas chamber, and he gets gassed, and then you have like his companion that was there alongside you in the World at War campaign, going like, how does somebody die like a dog? He should be dying a hero's death, and he's dying like an animal. And I was like, this is what's been amazing, because that's the brutality of war. That's just, I mean, if you've ever seen All Is Quiet on the Western Front, the new one, I mean the old one too, but I recently watched the new one, like that's what it should be. That's how it is. Not pleasant, and not that modern Call of Duty games are pleasant, but I don't know. I haven't talked in a while, so now I'm just getting my energy out. So
no, it's okay. Get it all out.
I can firmly say I can never forgive Treyarch for the Titanic zombies level. As a huge Titanic enthusiast, I'm sorry.
There's so many things you can hate them for.
No, I just find it's so disrespectful, and they like the ending, like when they go off, they're just focusing on the story. You don't even hear the ship split or anything.
Map design, increase in microtransactions, focus on multiplayer, not the single player.
No, the ship. It's the ship.
Basically excluded like the single player entirely just to have the multiplayer. No, the Titanic zombies spin-off mode ship level. That was the last straw.
I think it's incredibly disrespectful to the survivors, and just the whole tragedy to put like an entire zombies like curse on the ship for the duration of a game.
Can you imagine like in 2025 Call of Duty they have a 9/11 section for zombies?
No, do you know? I have a feeling one day Battlefield's gonna do that. I have a feeling Battlefield's gonna do that one day.
Well, God. Listen. There's a way that you can do those things in that kind of game tastefully and responsibly.
Have impact without being like disrespectful. You mean?
Yeah, and like, to your point, like throwing zombies in something that has that dark of a history. Yeah, you could arguably say, I guess, the same thing about the Alcatraz map.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, I think on the same token, there's, to me, there's this line where you can do it completely disrespectfully. And I understand why people might find it that way, but then there's also where it becomes more of it's far enough. I'm gonna completely dig myself into a hole. It's far enough removed that it reaches a level of acceptability. Like zombies is so far removed from something that ever could be a possible scenario that it doesn't make light of the situation, but it also doesn't disrespect it. If that makes any sense.
Right.
Right. So I could see it both ways.
Yeah, like something that you sort of jogged me. I don't know, you jogged me good. It made me think of like whenever they take like historical like Nazi like old like 1940s movies. Well, sorry, not 1940s movies, but movies that take place in that era where it's all brutal and terrible and very sensitive to a lot of people. But they have something they had like this film over top of it. It's like think of like Inglourious Basterds, for example, or like the movie Overlord, for example, or like Wolfenstein, for example. I mean, like those types of things sort of, it's like we're not like making light of things, but we're using serious topics in a way that gives something impact in a different like area, I guess. Like 9/11 and DeMarco, for anyone who doesn't know, 9/11 hits home literally for DeMarco. Yeah. So it is a much more serious topic for a lot of people. So I know that you can speak on that, and I don't think something like that could ever be done tastefully. But we've had enough Call of Duty games have done that very like assassinate-y, sort of like No Russian, for example, was something that I think still to this
the
day,
the airport, right?
Still to this day, No Russian is controversial. I mean, I remember whenever the Modern Warfare 2 reboot got announced, and immediately everyone was like, "Oh my God, how are they going to handle No Russian? That is not going to fly today." But I do agree with you, DeMarco. There are ways to do it while setting some sort of other theme on top of something else to make it more accessible for impact, to have some sort of meaning. I don't know if that's what, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think if that's what you meant, I agree with you.
Roughly, yeah. Obviously, the context of the event matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So hey, look here. I haven't done this all show, but I wanted to shout out to all the people that are in chat. I seriously appreciate you guys being here, and I say that every single week, and I say that every single week, and I say that every week because I mean it. It really means a lot for being here. And I'm not talking to the other guy that's watching. I'm talking to you that's sitting there doing something else while you're listening, thinking that they're going to take care of it. They're not. It's up to you. Hit the like button, share this out. I really appreciate it. It seriously keeps everything going. It keeps us invigorated and keeps it makes us happy. Like we're here hanging out, So hit the like button. Thank you so much for being here. So let's move on. I want to talk about this. Because this is we're in the discussion phase here. Assassin, you wanted to talk about something. Is the pressure on for PlayStation and Xbox for their respective showcases? Is it on? They have come out of a domestic violence court case, essentially beating each other up, spitting, just absolutely selling each other's children.
I thought you were going to say something serious.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's.
I
been
thought you were
rough.
gonna like bring to light some sort of controversy Sony's been going through.
Who is mommy and who's daddy in the PlayStation Xbox?
Well, obviously, Daddy's the one who's got a whole shit ton more money. So obviously, Daddy Microsoft.
I mean,
based on
Sony's
the
way more
grandfather.
aggressive.
That's grandfather.
Sony's very
Grandfather.
aggressive, so
Yeah,
I would
but
say
see, the
Sony's the
thing
daddy.
is, back in the old days, who's the one that you actually fear the most when Daddy's not home? It's
Okay, hang on, real quick. You know what segment we forgot the past 2 shows, Assassin? We have
What's
forgot
that?
the titular.
the bashing and Forza section.
No, we forgot the assassin reads the description section of each podcast. And I forgot.
Oh, for
about
fuck's
that.
sake!
You know
Nah,
what? Fuck you, assassin. Okay, carry on.
that's the kind of reaction I want.
I hope Rainbow Six servers close tonight.
He's so mad. Oh no! Don't
Joke's
do that.
on you. They announced another 10 more years.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God.
Yo, sounds like Forza.
Oh no! There you go. Assassin's gone. All right.
I mean, to be fair, we did hear Forza's coming in October, so
Did we?
yeah.
Hold on.
Okay,
What?
good.
I'm sitting here going, what?
It's just a rumor.
I will not be playing Forza. I'm sorry.
I will not be either.
Oh.
All right.
I will be
so-
playing Starfield. I'm
That's
gonna
understandable.
I'm gonna continue playing Redfall because I enjoy
Spider-Man.
Redfall.
Mortal Kombat, apparently. We
I
forgot to
play
mention Mortal
Final
Kombat's coming in
Fantasy
September.
16, but Square Enix has decided it's not coming to PC now.
Really?
Well, it
Wait, what?
6
Six-
months from now. Yeah.
16 won't. I don't know. They're gonna wait like 6 months to a year,
Yeah.
and then just drop it on Steam, and then I'm finally gonna play it with all the spoilers because of the 14 crossover that will happen.
Right.
Yeah. What's up, man?
I no doubt there's gonna be a big crossover. There's been a crossover of pretty much every game back to 13.
Crossovers, actually,
Jesus.
speaking of crossovers, it really reminds me of Xbox and PlayStation and their summer events and the lack
You're
of
right.
crossover that they're gonna do.
Yes. So,
Assassin,
see, the
go
thing
ahead.
is, the discussion I wanted to bring up with you guys is,
Well, hang on.
I mean,
before
look,
you do that,
Read the description.
Oh, I've got to say, I'm a traitor. I have a PlayStation 4 game. I want it.
how is that on PlayStation? That's
Okay,
that's not
hold
right.
on.
That's not real. Is that real?
okay.
It's brand new sealed. I won it in a giveaway.
That's awesome.
Today we'll be talking about the new Witcher spin-off game, Tears of the Kingdom, Mortal
I
Kombat
can't play
Reboot,
it.
Modern Warfare 3, Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake coming to PlayStation and Xbox, Lord of the Rings MMO game in development, Summer Games Fest announcements, the pressure is on for PlayStation and Xbox throughout this year. Is it pressure for you? Do you feel pressure? The more I type the word pressure, the harder it sounds. Sure. Another weird word is paparazzi. Why is it called paparazzi? Where did the poppy come from?
the Marco's
Where did
face.
the Mamarazzi come? Did paparazzi and Mamarazzi get into a fight and leave their kids and leave their kid Razzi's at home?
Wolf is
Should I
hiding
call the
behind his
Italian
mic.
police? Is Razzi an Italian word? God damn it.
I want to talk about. Let's talk about it. Let's just stop the conversation. The next topic. How the fuck do you come up with shit like this? That's what I
I'm sorry,
Right.
Wolf.
I know your brain don't work right half the time, but what the fuck?
All right.
Wolf is never getting monetized.
No,
It's not.
never, never. Yes, anyone, if you want to know what Assassin is laughing about, just go read the description every week on the Renegade Realm Podcast, and I try to throw a little bit of random ass insanity into my description.
Random.
for
Okay,
fun.
I just have one question, Red. Are you gonna have me read the segment just to see when? Okay, is this segment gonna be where I have to try not to laugh as I read, and if I laugh, I fail?
Yes, let's do
No,
that
You've
every
got-
time from now
damn
on.
it.
Laughing is better because I just want to know what the heck that first sound that came out of your mouth was.
He's like, it literally, yeah,
He did my.
yeah,
was it a laugh?
literally did.
I don't think it was a laugh, you guys. I just want to make sure you guys know that.
He was like, he got
Is this why Assassin doesn't have his camera on?
Literally,
No.
exactly. He wears a towel at all times, or whatever it is.
No, the reason I don't have a camera is because I'm 15 times uglier than everyone here on this panel. So,
You're definitely not.
Listen,
no, you don't even know what I look like. You haven't beaten me in
child.
Siege. Demi has.
No beard to contribute to the Renegade podcast.
Of course I have a beard, but y'all ain't
Oh,
seen
then-
shit.
There you go.
Well, just put on a mask, like
Just-
halfway up.
No!
Just
I
put on
told
a
you what
paper
happened to my
bag.
mask.
show up for the Renegade.
The Renegade Realm Bay.
I have to go get another one.
another beard.
Can we have this discussion, please?
Yeah, so
PlayStation-
anyway, speaking
PlayStation
of,
and Xbox.
Paparazzi and Mamarazzi getting into a domestic abuse trial. That is over now, essentially. PlayStation and Xbox are now in the end game of.
Endgame, ooh.
Yeah, they got
Ooh.
snapped. They got
Basically,
It's like Avengers
you s-
Endgame, but it's like
Oh.
just a bunch of nerds fighting on the
okay, so
battlefield.
There you go. Yeah.
to Red's point, yeah, mom and dad are having a domestic abuse case, and they're trying to bribe you with the best toys to come live with them for custody. So, PlayStation. We know they got Spider-Man, we know they got Stellar Blade, Factions is coming, but we don't know anything else that's coming for them. We don't know their new marketing deals. We think that Mortal Kombat's coming for them. We think Metal Gear Solid is another marketing deal for them. Xbox, I think, is in a bit of a much bigger hole that they have to dig themselves out of. I mean, it's been 3 years since we saw games from 2020 like Fable, Avowed, Perfect Dark, State of Decay, Everwild. The pressure's on for them. You know, with after what happened with Redfall, Starfield, there's a lot of concern about Starfield and its launch, whether it's going to launch with 30 or 50 or 60 FPS, whether the game's going to be buggy or not, whether Bethesda can truly live up to the expectations that everybody here on this panel has for them and everyone else in the Xbox community has for them. So I just wanted to ask everybody here on the panel, what does PlayStation and Xbox have to do to get you either invested in their ecosystems for the first time or to keep you there? What toys do they have to bribe you with to get you to agree to custody with them? No, because you hate PlayStation, so I want to go with someone neutral. DeMarco.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm just kidding, Red. You go. I'm just kidding,
Hold
Red.
on,
You
if
go
anybody's
first.
wait, hold on, no, let's stop. If anybody's, I'm the most even here. I play on all three systems. What the
Hey, I do
fuck?
too.
No, you want on Xbox? I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
Nah,
Yeah,
Mac,
but
you don't have a
my-
PC.
I've
What?
done. Yeah, I play
I'm
all
You
only
the
want to
kidding,
see me
Mac.
naked next to mine? I'll show you it.
I play all the Xbox games on PC, number one. But number two is I have never owned... my systems were PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, Xbox One, then PC, and I only recently got a PS5. But now I only got a PS5 because I play all those Xbox games on my computer. So
I like how
You're
you guys
lucky.
are
You're
so
lucky you
salty
defended
about how I
yourself.
said it.
there you go.
But
There
see,
you
the
go.
thing
You're
is,
lucky,
I only chose
DeMarco.
Red. See, the only reason why I chose Red in the first place is because he's the host and he's the boss. So go ahead, boss.
All right, wait, hold on. He is not the boss. Let's just put that out there. I'm not putting that title
Okay,
on him.
boss Wolf.
I'm
Boss
never
Wolf.
calling you boss. Just
Renegade.
remember that.
Moved
Red
from
boss.
that. So here's what I'll say. I've had this conversation with a lot of my friends, and I sort of grew up. I mean, everyone had a PlayStation at some point, right? Everyone had depending on how old you are. Like if you are in your 30s, you had a PlayStation first. That's what came first. The Xbox came. I latched onto Fable. I latched on, of course, to Morrowind. Those two RPGs exclusive. It wasn't by choice back then because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just asking my mom for whatever the new hotness was. And I have learned that there are certain types of games that keep me engaged for literally for all time. It just so happens that Bethesda Game Studios, this is just an example, are a developer that make games that, for me, I can return to. Like, I can just keep coming back without any extra content. I just can come back every single time and do something new. Those kind of games, to me, are much more valuable than the cinematic third-person sad dad experience, which are great and sad and daddy-ish. Not all the time, but they are sort of like a one-off.
I feel dirty.
you're a nasty little boy. But that's okay. But yeah, so, God of War, Last of Us, Horizon, East Side, whatever it's called, East Side, West Coast, Horizon, East Side, West Coast. Those games, I guess Horizon might be the one that sort of stands out a little bit because it is open world. But as far as I haven't played it, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what I'm talking about. But the game definitely, it's not a character creation RPG. Choice based. I can play it 15 times. To answer your question, if I were on PlayStation side and I'd only played those kind of games, I would still be playing the non-exclusive games that are on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox in between these exclusive games. There hasn't been an exclusive on PlayStation that has made me say I need to buy a PlayStation. The only reason that I own my PlayStation 4 is because of No Man's Sky. I've said this 1,000 times. The only reason I own it, I bought it for No Man's Sky because there was nothing else like it. I knew that this game could be potentially very similar to a play it forever type of game. Have different experiences, whatever. It was one of a kind during its time. So that's why I bought my PlayStation. Xbox, on the other hand, got lucky with Bethesda, and now they own Fallout and all the Bethesda games, and now Starfield's coming out. Those types of games really are what hook me. Another thing that Xbox does is, of course, Game Pass. Without Game Pass, but they have a lot of they are very supportive of like indies, and the indie games that come to Xbox are just, people just don't talk about the indies that come to Xbox, even Game Pass. By the way, I am gonna say, come October, my 2-year Game Pass Ultimate ends because it came with my console. I am going to leave Game Pass alone for as long as I can. I'm gonna try to drop it for an entire year, and I will be buying my games afterwards. And this is not just like a social experiment only. It is more of a, I need to put my money where my mouth is and pay for a lot of these games. If I had purchased Redfall, I would have been very upset, but I didn't. So that there are a lot of exceptions to what I'm sitting here saying. Xbox is better. It's not what I'm saying. I'm specifically talking about the games that last a long time that I wouldn't want to.
Speaking of indie games, did you know that Planet of Lana is releasing in 6 days?
Look at that on Game Pass.
That was a game.
They announced it today. Yeah. They announced it today or yesterday. They announced it or whatever. Yeah.
Just wanted to bring that up because that's a game that the art style is absolutely incredible, and I want to make sure that I.
So basically, Red, in order for PlayStation to get you invested, they need a killer app that's different than the other 25 killer apps that they already have. Basically.
Yeah, it's like PlayStation has a way of doing their, their big, huge AAA cinematic games. I would say that Spider-Man is the one step is a great step in the right direction when it comes to exclusivity. Those are the types of games that not akin to Bethesda games, but those are the step outside of their usual third-person linear-ish type games. Spider-Man. Everyone.
So you
knows
hate
Spider-Man.
Wolverine?
No, that's what I'm saying. They're leaning into that exact thing that I'm talking about by going towards the thing that everyone knows, everyone loves. They don't know them for movies. They don't know them, they don't know them just for video games. They know them for movies, comic books, for years and years and years and years and years. We're talking about 60 years worth in Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like 60, 70 years of whatever of material, whether it be cartoons, comics, blah blah blah. Those games sell themselves, and who else better to do it than PlayStation, who are known for their exclusives? Good for them. And Microsoft was offered the opportunity to have these games exclusive. That's not the model that they wanted to go for at the time, and that sucks. But to answer your question, what would bring me to Xbox? It would be these big games that you can't get anywhere else. These big ass games that you can't get anywhere else. That's it.
So you don't want to see any of the games that were announced 3 years ago?
You asked me what would make me... You asked me what would draw me to a different platform.
Or keep you on the platform.
Right. Xbox is keeping me because of everything I just said about what they're doing. Yeah.
Game Pass, etc.
Well, Game Pass is great. I have been finding myself not playing a whole lot of Game Pass games, and whenever I do, I don't finish them. And I feel like it's because I'm feeling spoiled, if that makes any sense. I paid for Resident Evil 4. I paid for Dead Space. I paid for Hogwarts. I will be buying Starfield. I will be getting a steelbook for it. Like, I feel like I have much more of an investment in games that I pay for than when things are given to me. And I'm not saying that Game Pass is great, but I, as a gamer, I have a lot of games to play already. And I pay for games because I feel like I will care about them. And I have paid for plenty of games that I did not feel strongly about, and I felt very disappointed in after paying for them. But I still felt an obligation to at least give it a chance. I have said it last time, I have gifted so many games to my friends over the past few years. Past forever, for as long as I was able to do it. And I know that how I felt whenever someone would gift me a game that I wasn't either expecting or didn't necessarily want, I would feel a deep appreciation for that, because that's money that my friend is spending on me. However, if I didn't want it or wasn't excited for it, I would have bought it if I wanted it. But they bought it for me. Now I have an obligation to play it because it was given to me. On the other hand, I have an obligation to play it because I spent money on a game that I wanted. So I'm going to invest time in it regardless if I feel like it's shit as soon as I pick it up. AKA downloading a game on Game Pass. And I played Redfall for an hour and I put it down. And I probably will come back to Redfall, by the way. Just because I know that it can be a lot of fun, but I have other things to play. And that's exactly my point. So when it comes to what's going to keep me there versus what is going to, drive me away or whatever, I feel like PlayStation games are like watching a movie. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that I play a PlayStation game. I beat it. I loved it. It's a great time. And I will never play it again. But there are a ton of games that Xbox has in between their indie games and in between now what Bethesda is offering. That's what I'm excited for the future in comparison.
So in essence, PlayStation is the one that has a lot more to prove, and Xbox has nothing to prove.
No, not at all. No, Xbox needs to get off of their we're going to just be the good guy. They need to go scorched earth, buy up as many exclusives as they can, and make them quality and make them last.
Yeah,
Red,
that's
this is what's going to be shown with Avowed and Fable. And again, our big ass, long lasting games that aren't just play it once, put it down. People are still playing The Witcher today. We just talked about The Witcher. The Witcher, essentially, you're playing as a set character, yet it's a giant. Why are people still talking about The Witcher 3 if it's a almost 10-year-old game? You know what I mean? It's just there is in the nature of RPGs and open world games that do it well with choice and consequence. They do last longer in the mind share. People talk about it for much longer than they talked about God of War. Who the hell's talking about God of War Ragnarok right now? I loved it, by the way. I played God of War Ragnarok. I beat it. It was great. It's over. It's over. And that's kind of my point. Xbox has a lot to prove, and PlayStation has been doing great with their exclusive game. But anyway,
good answer, boss.
There you go.
DeMarco's turn. All right, DeMarco. What does Sony have to do or show for you to keep your PS5, and what does Xbox have to do to get you more invested in the Xbox PC side of things?
Yeah, I think so. For what it's worth, I'm actually very happy in a way, in this weird way, of that Sony is really honing in on a lot of the things that they do good. Xbox is trying to figure out what their place is right now. They're kind of like that teenage kid that's just going into college and they're figuring themselves out, and that they got to learn the way of the world. And it seems like they're kind of stuck in this position as Phil Spencer tries to plot out. Xbox is a bit easier to speak to. I'm sick and tired when it comes to Xbox, and actually I was very surprised because Ryan McCaffrey at IGN took a very strong stance on this. There's a video that I saw of him saying that, and I agree, I'm tired of saying this is going to be the year for Xbox. Oh, this is going to be the year for Xbox.
Oh,
Oh,
this
this
just
is
said
going to
on
be
the
the year.
podcast 9 days ago.
Yes.
10 days ago.
Yeah, and I was very happy that Ryan McCaffrey took that stance on it, because it's so unbelievably true. Xbox needs to just figure it out and say, okay, this is what we're doing. Here's the games. Boom. Like, we're giving you Starfield, and then right after you're getting Fable, and then they both have to kill it, and then right after you have Avowed or any order thereof. And that's what I'm looking for. I want this to be the year of Xbox. I don't want next year to be. I'm tired of next year being the year of Xbox, because next year's not coming. And so that's what they need to do. I'm not as passionate about that, though, to be honest, as much as I might making it out to be, because I have so many other games. Like, the full release of Darkest Dungeon 2 just came out. I've been enjoying the living daylights out of that. We started the podcast, I was talking about that one. Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out soon. That's not really tied to any company, and that is in August. I'm super excited for that. So there's plenty. I don't agree with the fact when people say, oh, there's no good games. That's not true. Just you play more games. Then you're not playing enough games. Play more games. But to get back to what I was saying before, I'm very happy that the studios are kind of getting into their places. Like, you have Nintendo experiences, which are they're like the Wes Anderson of games, right? It's just its own genre of experience.
Yeah.
Then you have Sony, which is making those story-driven experiences, and like Wolf, like you said, I haven't beaten Ragnarok, but I absolutely have enjoyed what I've played so far. The original God of War, I absolutely love that one. Last of Us 1 and 2, as controversial as that one was, I enjoyed them both. And I'm still yet to play a game like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but you can have your cake and eat it too. And I understand that for a lot of people, there's not this luxury of being able to go, I can afford a PC and I can afford a console, or an Xbox and a PlayStation. It's usually one or the other. And truth be told, I'm in that position. The only reason I have a PlayStation is because it was gifted to me. And so, yeah, I think that these studios really finding their specific niches is a good thing. To keep me on board, I want to see PlayStation keep pumping out those experiences 100%. To see Xbox, I want them to really hone in on those open world RPGs, and I want them to just figure out what they're trying to do, because they seem like a little bit of a lost puppy at the moment. And I'm happy to take in the lost puppy. I'm happy to adopt the puppy, but you gotta show me that. You gotta meet me halfway here. And right now they're not doing that. So that's all I
send
need.
it to the pound. But
That's all.
right,
Yeah,
go ahead,
that's
Mike.
all I need from Xbox at the moment. In the meantime, I'll keep finding other games, because I'm a gamer at heart.
Right.
But I don't care where it comes from.
So basically, you want Xbox to stop the whole, this is the year of Xbox, you just want them to come out and actually do it. Just actually come out and give them the game. Give us the game.
Stop telling me that you're going to have all
Stop
these great
telling
experiences.
you, give it to us.
Give me. It's the time for action, not the time for words anymore.
And Sony? What did you want from them again?
Keep making your story. Keep doing what they're doing. Make your story-driven experiences. That's what I go to Sony for. I want to sit there. When I want to turn on my PlayStation, it's because I want that cinematic experience. And if I'm not getting that,
okay.
And if you make other games, I'm probably not playing those as much personally. So
Yeah.
there you
Just
go.
wait
Yeah,
till
I
the
get
Last
you.
of Us MMO.
Stop.
The multiplayer-
Lexi, stop.
Spider-Man MMO, God of War, Ragnarok MMO. Oh, we're gonna have a Horizon MMO.
Oh my
just wait.
god.
No.
Just wait.
Well, we are getting a Horizon MMO.
Well,
But
think
that's
about
beside
it.
the
They,
point.
they bought Bungie. Like, they want to go to online games. They're gonna make an MMO at some point.
I'm not gonna
PlayStation
touch those
MMO.
experiences. I'm just not. That's not what I'm turned on my PlayStation for. And that's not to say that they're not going to be great. I'm sure like The Last of Us multiplayer is going to be really cool, because I like The Last of Us 2 gameplay. So if you can emulate that and you put it in multiplayer, and now you have more of a competitive thing, because like for example, Uncharted multiplayer, that was fun. I enjoyed that when that was a thing.
Yeah,
Uncharted had multiplayer?
I know a
Yeah,
lot of
yes,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that loved it.
Uncharted
was
4, it reminded me of like it was like if you ever played the Tomb Raider multiplayer, it was
Yes,
similar
I
to
was
that.
gonna
And
say that.
it was really good. Like I remember I just talked about it a couple weeks on the podcast. I said one of the online PlayStation games that I liked was Uncharted 4. It just, I mean, it didn't draw me in like Call of Duty or Halo, but I still enjoyed it enough. I think I probably played it for about maybe a day or so worth of gameplay. Like I was up there and kicking ass. You know, that game's it was really fun.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
And those things, to me, those experiences are supplemental to what I think I like about them. So that's just you get me in the door with those good cinematic games, and then you keep me in the store browsing a little bit longer with something like the multiplayer add-ons and like the Last of Us multiplayer and stuff like that. So that's all for me.
Take a deep breath there, man. You took that deep breath.
That's all, folks.
You got it out there, man.
All right, Mac, your turn. What does Sony have to do to get you invested besides Final Fantasy 16? And what does Xbox have to do to keep you invested in the Xbox ecosystem?
Well, first
What
of all,
do you want? What do you want them to do?
Spider-Man 2 that's going to keep me there, so let's second guess that. Spider-Man 2 is the main reason why. It's the reason
Fair
why.
enough.
That and God of War are the only reason why I own a PlayStation. No, I love Final Fantasy as much as I do. We talked about it. But if Final Fantasy was the only game PlayStation owned, I would not spend $500 on a console. I would wait till it comes out on PC and just play it on my PC. But that's just what I would do. That'd be stupid. But due to the fact that they have those two games, but I want to see more games. You got to, for PlayStation side, we haven't seen nothing. We don't know what the hell's coming out, and there's a lot coming that we don't know. Hopefully here, in about 2 weeks we'll find out. Maybe on the 25th or 28th, what it was. I can't remember what day it was.
25th.
Hopefully we see something. First of all, hopefully we see Spider-Man. I mean, we couldn't know that. That's my biggest thing. Is as long as we see Spider-Man, but we need something new. I need maybe, or even just something. I don't know what it is. Just I want to see something new. I don't want to see a reboot. I mean, clearly I do. We talked about it last week. But I want to see a new IP from them. I don't want how we had Ghost of Tsushima. I want to see something like that. PlayStation's got to throw another loop at me again. I do. We can't have this rinse and repeat where we have Naughty Dog make Uncharted 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 live service gets banned. Oh, I don't want to see that no more. I'm tired of it. I want to see something new. And on Xbox point of view, it's got to be. I want to see Fable. I mean, and clearly we all know that I'm not going to get rid of either one of my consoles, no matter what it is. They're here till I sell them when the next gen comes out. So it's the next generation of games. But Fable is the big thing for me for Xbox. If you want me to play a game, if I was mainly anybody into new consumers, like everybody knows what Fable is. So it's just like Pokemon. If you play Xbox at any point in time, you've played Fable. Like I'd be very surprised if I have met a person that has not played one Fable game in their life. And I'm talking about any of them. That's just what they are. So bring that there. And PlayStation, just a new IP. I want to see something new. I don't want to see I know we're going to see Spider-Man. I know we're going to see this Fraction Naughty Dogs game or whatever we're going to talk about. I know that's coming. But if you want to get somebody, maybe you need to show something new. But what can be new that we haven't played before? That's the big thing. It's hard to make a game like that. And then on top of it, they just got rid of it's called Blood Hunt. It's our battle royale game that I really enjoyed on my PlayStation. They're closing the servers down. So there's another thing. They
closed it down really.
Within 1 year.
Earlier, I talked about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah.
That game that is in that universe. And again, we talked about earlier, stretching yourself thin by saying, here comes this big ass, huge AAA RPG sequel that you really want to see. But in the meantime, we're going to try to feed our studios with this little experiment. And that's what they did with that game, it seems.
And no more live service games for PlayStation. I don't want to see it on either side. I hate live service games. I am so fucking sick of them. And then, we know Suicide Squad's going to be one of them. Maybe. I don't know. They might have delayed it and got rid of it. But I don't want to see it no more. I'm okay with it if it's just in a single-player game. Like, you just kind of put some, cosmetics or something like that. But I don't want to see no more battle royale live service games. I don't want to see no more online service. I'm tired of live service. They're ruining video games to this day. Every live service game sucks ass for the first year it comes out. And I'm talking every one of them. Call of Duty is bad. Halo's fucking trash. We know this. This is coming from somebody that loves Halo. Live service games need to be gone. Keep them away from me. Keep them I don't want to see any live service game in either one of these showings. And if you show a fucking live service game, you're going to hear me bitch about it next weekend or whatever week it is afterwards. You're going to hear me bitch more about it. I can't stand that.
That's Sony's future. They are really going to deal with that.
12 games in the next 2 years of live service they have. That's what they predicted, right? So we're probably going to say 6 of them, right? I don't want to see that.
I mean, that's why they got Bungie.
Yeah, I know. I know you just said that. It's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
See,
And
Destiny
20 from
3
Microsoft.
So we got Destiny 3, right? That could be a live service game, right? But how bad would that be? Because now we know they're just money hacking us for money. That's all it is. It's like who would want to put money into that? Who would want to only like diehard Destiny fans? You're talking about a person that, like I said, you work a 9-to-5 job, you barely have any money. You don't want to keep spending this money on all these games anymore. So it's just there's too many of them, and it's the problem. It's just dumb. Let's go back to the old ways. Like we had in games, when you buy a 67, now we're at $7. Let's talk about it. We're adding $10 more to our purchases from 15 years ago. I want everything in the game when it first comes out. I'm tired of these. Let's wait 6 months down the road so you can get this cosmetic that goes on my toe. I don't give a shit about that. I want it right when I first play the game. I'm just sick of this shit. Get rid of that. If they could say that, one of the companies will, PlayStation, Xbox, we're not doing no more live service games. This is what we're giving. That would be the hugest win out of any company I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. You hear in Microsoft, that means no more Sea of Thieves, that means no more Grounded, that means no more expansions for Forza, no more expansions for Halo, nothing.
That's not a live service. Expansions are not live service. Expansions are not live service.
It kind of is.
They're deals, but they're not though. Live
it
service
is, but
means
it's not.
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. They're gonna fix it and add on the whole time. We're getting broken games when they're coming out. The games are shit. They're all. Sea of Thieves was horrible. It took 2 years for it to even be good. Who would want to? I don't understand. So even longer. Halo's still in a horrible state. Gears of War 5, literally any Gears fans, there's only probably about 3,000 people that play that game now because it came out in a bad state of mind. That's because it's live service. They want to put a beta out, an alpha out, and then expect people to enjoy it. Look at Splitgate. It didn't last because it was still in beta form. I'm tired of that. I don't want to see that no more. I want to see a full functional game when it comes out. If it takes 2 more years, let's say the next Halo game comes out, right? And it takes 6 years to make, and they have to make 2 more years to make sure the game runs right. I want it away for 2 more years to fix it right. So when it comes out, it gives us all the product we want and everything, just so the game runs good. I'm sick of this shit, man. I mean, for anybody that plays shooters knows what I'm talking about. It's just sickening. Sorry, I ramped on and kind of went off a little bit of the bunch.
It's okay. Lex, did you give your opinion on what future you're into? That's asking to ask a question better because I've been trying to experiment with new things. So anyone watching the video version of the podcast, you're like, what the fuck is happening right now? That's me. It's me doing things. Enjoy it. But yes, please continue.
Lexi, what about you? Is there anything that PlayStation or Xbox has to do to keep you invested or get you invested?
Or even PC?
Okay, I think the problem with Microsoft right now is they're announcing things in early, the end of pre-production, and they're doing it so they can say, here, look guys, this is a game that's going to come out from this developer, and it's just too early. The problem with Microsoft right now is, yes, they've got all these studios, but all these studios were acquired in a stage where they'd already made deals for their games, and their games have come out. So what you have is studios that are starting brand new games as of past 2 years or something, and games are taking longer now. So these studios, they aren't going to come out for games for a few years, and that's a big problem. So what I think Xbox should do to keep someone like me involved is sign more third-party deals, because that's how the 360 gen went. This is how you have great games without stressing out your first-party studios. You've got a lot of them, but when you acquired them, they were already making games. So these games that they're going to make for you, like Avowed or whatever, it's going to take quite a while. Especially when, for Obsidian, Avowed is their first AAA game in since New Vegas. It's been a long time.
2009, 10, something
yeah,
like that.
10.
Yeah.
So, it's just they should sign more third-party deals. And for Sony, huge Marvel simp. So, Spider-Man,
Same.
Wolverine, they've got me by the.
Yeah. Literally, what I just said, Lexi. That's what Spider-Man's it.
Yep.
I can't wait. And I want to throw in something real quick. If they show Wolverine, which I don't think they're gonna, But if I don't see Wolverine cut a dude's leg off, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm just gonna put that out there. I want
That you mean slash their face?
anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when Deadpool 3 comes out, Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine. That's just gonna skyrocket Wolverine. It's gonna be like a bestseller.
And I can't wait for Deadpool 3.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Hugh
So
Jackman looks great at training.
Yeah, he's almost.
He's got the
60 years
Logan
old.
beard. Yeah.
Yeah, he's almost 60 years old and he looks really
And
good.
there's a rumor he might return in the one of
Secret
the
Wars.
Avengers film. Yeah.
Secret Wars.
When-
Yep. I already seen it. Oh, don't worry, girl. I'm on that shit just like you. So, yeah.
I need Marvel to hook me in. That's when we need to have a discussion about how DC or Marvel can keep or hook us back in, because man, I'm so all over the place right now.
Marvel's-
Watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That's what you need to do.
I'm
to
seeing
get
that
your-
on Friday. I cannot
Yeah.
wait.
So
Yeah,
listen,
I
I
haven't
haven't seen it yet, but
yeah.
everybody said the same thing. Watch Guardians. The last listen, Thor sucked. I mean, it wasn't bad. I don't like it. But
I don't think Phase 4's been bad. I think they've been experimenting, and a lot of it has been very miss. They're trying to establish a new tone.
That's what. How they did all the sync, like every movie like of a new character that was coming in, they always made a new movie. The first ones are always like sub because they're trying to put them somewhere, and that's all these new movies: the Black Panther, the Thor, which we see where that's going with, Hercules coming in. Sorry if I ruined that for anybody. A bunch of stuff, and Black Panther to me sucked. I thought it was the worst movie out of all 4 of the movies that come out. I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to see it. I've just been waiting for it. I was gonna see it 2 weeks ago, but then something came up and I just couldn't get in. It was the time was bad. So, but everybody says Guardians is the best movie in Phase 4 for sure. It's probably one of the best movies since since Endgame, naturally. So
I mean, it's James Gunn, so it's gonna be pretty good.
I like Suicide Squad from him, so I love 1 and 2. So
Because Marvel's in this phase where they're getting a bit too comfortable and they're not experiment. I mean, they're making Deadpool 3 R-rated, and there's R-rated content on American Disney Plus now, like Logan and Deadpool. Do you have the right content filters? You can watch those now, because those films are going to be important going forward, because Deadpool's coming to the MCU. But I think now that DC has competent leaders, so to say, with James Gunn and the other guy, I forget his name. He's not as, I guess, famous as James Gunn.
Zack Snyder?
no,
But
no,
he's out. He's a true comic fan, and
it's Peter
Molyneux.
Strafen is what his name is. I think his name. Yeah, they did. Yeah, he's also doing the DC. He's in with DC with them. So yeah. Okay.
They're comic nerds. Like, they're starting with Superman Legacy. I don't know who's Superman. I don't know who's directing. But all I know is I trust James Gunn to make a great Superman movie. And I'm sorry, like, Henry Cavill fans, he played Superman greatly for the time he was. But you can't have a new universe without recast.
A new character. Yep.
Yeah.
Have they announced that yet? Have they announced who the Superman's going to be yet?
No, not yet.
But they did say James Gunn is directing.
I just now had a video pop up. Shout out to Christian Harloff from Collider. Well, sorry, he's not from Collider. He used to work at Collider. But I follow his channel, just sort of like stay in the know with what's happening. With a lot of the film, Marvel stuff. Sorry if you can hear my cat like scratching vigorously, but something just now popped up, and it says, "Is this the new Superman?" And I'm not sure. I want to click
James
on
Gunn
it.
is keeping it. It's
He's on the down low.
That's bait.
Yep.
James Gunn is keeping it very quiet. He publicly stated that he's not going to be sharing the casting, even though everyone's trying to pry and look and find it. So.
There's going to be set, like, they're filming in January. There's going to be set photo leaks.
So
eventually
it
it's going to come out, just
runner.
not yet.
It says that there is a Superman frontrunner here. Here.
I see it like the Fantastic Four castings.
Don't worry about it. Just wait.
Superman frontrunner looks even more like Henry Cavill in. Okay, here, Screen Rant. This just
What's his name?
Came up. New Clark Kent frontrunner for Superman Legacy, David Corenswet, looks even more like former Superman actor Henry Cavill in new fan art for James Gunn's upcoming reboot of the Man of Steel. Cavill left the role shortly after. Blah blah blah. We know about that. So his name is
What?
David Cornsweet.
Yeah, corn sweat.
C-O-R-
Yeah, corn
Yeah.
sweat. Yeah.
So
okay.
check him out.
Yeah.
I haven't looked up a picture of him yet, but
He kind of reminds me of Brendan Fraser, but like a skinny young version of him. I don't know. I don't
let me
know,
see.
man. I
Wow,
would put
holy
him in
shit,
the
he does
Wolver-
look like fucking Henry Cavill. What the fuck?
He just
Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know. How tall is he? He's got to be 6'4" at least. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's like breaking news here on the Renegade Realm Podcast. I do want to do more discussions like this and just be open with topics because I don't care about tangents. I know people like topics.
3 hours later.
3 hours later.
Yeah.
Right. Which, by the way, we're not going to get to other topics tonight. We definitely touched on the big ones.
What's the other topics, real quick? Let's keep them small and simple.
So Summer Games Fest. Which one do you think? Summer Games Fest,
Let's do
PlayStation
Summer
layoffs,
Games.
and
We could do
Xbox.
Summer Games Fest next weekend. I think that's a bigger topic we should wait for. We still have 2 weeks for that. So
Okay,
What
I
was the
actually
other ones?
agree because that could be a fun topic that I really would like to do a deep dive in this week. That's a big because we just talked about what we're excited for between Xbox and PlayStation, which I thought that was a great
Well,
topic to bring up. By
I
the way,
haven't.
Assassin's so great.
I haven't.
You haven't talked about what you're excited about.
I haven't talked about what I wanted. I asked you.
well, go ahead,
guys.
talk about it. Let's go ahead and hear it.
I feel like I've done
All right,
this
fine.
20
Yeah,
times now.
20.
Each
That's a low
podcast-
Yes,
number.
you have.
Each
That's a low
podcast,
number.
Yes, you have.
Assassin asks a question, and I'm like, "Great, everyone." Assassin's like, "But
It's
Dad,
because you're on a camera.
Daddy." He didn't have a
That's
camera.
not. Nah.
That's actually true. That's actually
Got it,
kind
Ed.
of true. Not gonna lie.
You
Not
should
gonna lie.
you should ask your cat what they think.
Hey, Saga, you wanna? What do you think about?
Pick them up,
He's
put
on
them
the
next to the
back.
microphone, ask
The
them
next-
what do they
next
want.
Ask 'em.
Of the DCU and
Whatever
PlayStation.
gives me head scratches, man.
He's just like, I'm just gonna headbutt the fuck out of this mic until. Look, he's so pretty. He has to do this.
Chew
thing
the
where they
wire,
do that
chew the
little-
wire, chew the wire.
Yeah, he's like trying.
Chew it.
He's very.
Cost Wolf
interactive.
money.
Yeah.
I love cats, man.
Want to see more of my cat?
I love my cats.
OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. Assassin.
Sorry, I was gonna say it, but I'll keep it to myself. Not to demonetize us.
My cat does this thing where he'll hold up his paw and he's like, "Yeah, there he goes." He does
High
this
five,
thing.
motherfucker.
Demonetized.
Anyway, Assassin, what's gonna bring you closer to God?
To God.
Death. That's the only thing that's gonna
Death.
be.
Death.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
pretty much.
carry on. What,
God. DeMarco has the most
All right.
straight face I've ever seen.
that motherfucker did not laugh at all. Oh,
like-
that joke was weak. Weak ass joke by Mac. Okay, my bad.
Let's see. Well, let's see. When it comes to PlayStation, one thing I want to see from this showcase is something that I gotta praise Xbox for. I want to see more diversity. I mean, they don't have a first-party RPG that everybody could, get to lose hours in. Something like Bethesda's RPGs. They don't have a first-person horror, or not first-person, first-party horror game. Even though the rumors say that there is one working at Firesprite, they don't have a strategy game. They don't have a. Okay, I guess Gran Turismo is a good racing game, but you guys know what I mean. I want Sony's first party to be more diverse, and I don't mean live service. Like Max said, neither one should be focusing on live service. They should be focusing on single player on both aisles. Unfortunately, my critique of Microsoft is going to be a bit harsher. We need to see the games that we haven't seen since 2020. We need to see Fable, Mac, like you said. We need to see Avowed. Who was the one that mentioned Obsidian the last time they had a AAA game? Was that you, Lexi?
That was
Yeah.
Lex. Yep.
Yeah, like Lexi said, it's their first AAA game that they've released since Fallout New Vegas 13 years ago, believe it or not. So we need to see Avowed. Ninja Theory has been hyping up Hellblade 2 for literally a year and a half, so we need a date for that. We need to see, unfortunately, we're going to see Forza Motorsport, and it's going to be a 78 on Metacritic, hopefully, but realistically it's going to be 92. We just need to see the games. We really need to see them. We need them. We need more third-party AAA blockbuster titles that are not Cyberpunk, Back 4 Blood, or anything else like that on the service day one. We need more third-party exclusives that will get people invested. we just need more. We just need Microsoft to shut the fuck up and actually give us what we have been asking for since 2018. That is the games. That is all we need. I swear to God, if we see any more quote-unquote live service like Halo or Sea of Thieves, I'm going to be like, why? Why? What? These games have they're pretty much in the back of all of our heads. Why are you bringing them forward, giving us all PTSD? Like, why? Are you so dead set on reminding me that Halo's a failure right now?
I like Sea of Thieves.
Well, good for you. Well,
I like Redfall. I like Redfall.
What, Red? That's funny. I never see you play Sea of Thieves.
You know why? Because I don't have anyone to fucking play with!
Well, you know why? You know why you don't see him play?
You know why?
The outfit. That's why. Come on, we already talked about this.
Red, you know why you have no one else to play with? Because whenever we fucking download anything, you won't play with us!
Yeah.
The Division?
Called out.
Payday?
The Division
Hello?
is installed right now. Payday
Hey,
is
this
installed
motherfucker
right now.
complains about Payday more than anybody, but never says, "Hey, you guys want to play Payday?" Never bitch.
Never.
Bitches more than anybody about it.
Motherfucker's on Mass Effect, he's on Persona, he's on Midnight Suns, he's on The Witcher 3, he's on everything but Payday!
You guys want to play Payday after this show?
No, we're going to bed. We got work tomorrow, motherfucker. Sorry.
You know, that's just how it happens.
This has been going on longer than this podcast has. Just want to say.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it started around episode 5, I think.
I look at him. He's like, bro, look at me. Look, he's doing the thing. He's holding his hand.
Wow, I didn't know Houston was in Texas. Oh my god.
That's why I said no shit. Like,
Oh my goodness.
Thank
This
God
is
we
a
learned
revelation.
something new every fucking day right now. Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, look, and there's my friend Forsaken coming in saying, "Yep, no shit," because that's actually.
I'm the one that said
out
no
of here,
shit.
Forsaken.
That ain't
You know
your
what the
friend.
fuck you're talking.
I said no shit, not your friend. What the fuck?
Oh, you said no
And
shit.
I've been
He
the
said
one
no.
roasting
you
you
can't even
harder than a
fucking
grilled
read, man.
cheese.
And you're the
Yeah, he's in
host?
here
What the
talking
fuck?
shit. He's here.
And I've been
You're
grilling
doing
you
good,
harder than a grilled cheese on a Sunday afternoon. What the fuck are you talking about?
I support you, Mr. Boss, sir.
Clip that.
I don't think I've ever eaten a grilled cheese.
What?
I've eaten like a cheese toasty.
It's
Like in a toasty make it.
It's
Okay,
called
okay.
it's the same thing. Yeah.
I've
the
never
same
put
thing.
one in the frying pan. Like
Yeah,
that's
okay,
what I'd
here's
imagine
something-
it would
No,
be.
so what you do is you put the butter in the pan, you put the bread on top, you
No,
swirl
you
it
put the
around,
butter
you
on
flip
the
it.
toast. Who puts it in
I
the
just-
pan? What?
I do.
I just make a sandwich and butter the outside, put
Put
it
it
in the
on the
toasty
bread.
machine, and just close it.
No.
Yeah, that's how
So
you
because
Make
then
it
you
toast it.
A life hack.
No,
for
Mac,
anyone.
no, because then you end up with
take-
butter spots. You
take
take
a
one bite and
video.
it's butter, and then the rest and it's just toast.
What kind of? What are you using? Like a lopsided fucking pan? Like what the hell? Like I mean, you got a pan that look like this and shit, throwing gang signs up on the pan. Like, come on, bro.
Take it very thin. Take some mayo. Hellman's preference.
Yeah, mayo is normal. Yes, it's either mayo or
Yeah.
butter you put on the toast. I know
Yeah,
that.
one of the two, yeah.
Spread
Who
it very,
puts it in there?
very, very light. If you're gonna use mayo, spread it incredibly lightly over the bread, and then throw it in the pan and fry it.
It's a
It
crisp.
is. It's like better. It's better than butter. I know it sounds fucking weird, but you fry that, and Lex's face is like, "What the fuck?"
I just use a toasty machine. Just make a sandwich. Put some
Like-
butter on the outside. Just close the
Lexi,
lid.
we're
and it just
Americans.
makes it.
Toasty
We make
machine.
we make bastardized food all the time. Don't worry.
Okay, listen, we have a lot to learn here. Look, any other thoughts tonight that we have? Anything exciting going on in our lives? What are we going to be doing here? You know, what are we going to be doing?
Okay,
for the rest of the
I've got something to say on why indie games don't do very well at the moment.
day? Okay, please continue.
I think they're very unique, but they're too unique for the wider audience to care.
That and people care more about AAA games like Starfield and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they see this indie game and they're like, what's it like? Is it like any? They'll compare it to something big. So if I say, oh, this indie game, it's just like Mass Effect or Uncharted. It's really good. There's strong narrative. All this. If you say that, then they'll think it's a spiritual successor to Mass Effect. Oh my god, Mass Effect has sucked since Andromeda, but you know that would draw people in. And the art styles of some of these games are amazing, but that's not drawing people in. It's a good thing that they do these art styles, but it's just not enough. for the wider audience.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, it's a combination of things. It's going to be the marketing as well, because I mean, again, Planet of Lana, it's Xbox Game Pass, and it's not like Microsoft is really helping with the marketing of that game too much, are they? So there's that. It does fall into more of a niche category because it's not hitting all those checkboxes that a big AAA games needs to hit. And typically they're much smaller in scope too. I mean, you look at a game like Hades, which is massively popular, but I can see why people wouldn't like that because, well, one, a lot of indie games these days fall into roguelikes, which is unfortunate. They should try to branch out of that, but it is what it is. But roguelikes, you know, like Hades, you're doing the same thing over and over and over, so that's not going to be appealing to a lot of people. But then you also get these other ones that are massive standouts, and you could look at, say, it was we talked about it last week, that detective game that's slipping my mind the name of, very weird. You talk to your clothes. Disco Elysium.
Oh, okay.
Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
So you look at something like that, and that was massively popular. I mean, think Five Nights at Freddy's was an indie game.
Celeste.
An indie game
Undertale.
that got there was a crowdfunding page. There was a crowdfunding page for Five Nights at Freddy's. Guess how much it raised?
20 grand.
It raised zero.
Oh.
Nobody gave a shit about Five Nights at Freddy's till it came out.
There you go. Undertale. I mean, that game is quite literally, it's just in the public sphere outside of gaming. It is grown beyond that. So every once in a while, you get these sparks of something brilliant. And
I think
Yes.
Undertale
like
got
Tunic.
Undertale got a massive boost because it's literally what it was designed to be, a spiritual successor to Earthbound.
yeah.
And people love Earthbounds, and it was literally that. So I think if there was an indie game that could pull off something like Mass Effect or Uncharted in like a smaller scope or whatever. I mean, I can't comment what I'm making. I'm under an NDA anyway, so. But if something like that would come out, and you said we took heavy inspiration from Mass Effect. Mass Effect used to be like, I mean, it still is. It's really popular. Like, I think indies, they've really got to start, like, in the marketing, they've got to compare it to something.
Yeah, and to Lexi's point, I mean, it's also partly based on the publishers that are responsible for making these or helping develop these games. I mean, right now I'm on my PlayStation 5 and I'm in the indie section, and just listen to some of the games and I'm pretty sure you guys will know them based on either high quality or word of mouth. I mean, Chia, Kina, let's see, what else? We got Metal Hellsinger, we got
Is that Tiger game still on there? Where they stole the artwork for the game and
yes,
the gameplay
Tunic,
is just terrible.
Inscription, Outer Worlds, we got Untitled Goose Game, Cuphead, Bugsnax, Disco Elysium, Hades. These are all games that are very good. It's just the fact that not a lot of people are playing them, and they're not using the consumer's best weapon against publishers and to help each other as gamers is word of mouth. If we talk about these games more, then more people are going to gravitate to them. And this is, I'm not saying this to piss Red off, but why is a Plague Tale Requiem in the indie section?
Well, no, that doesn't piss me off. That makes me mad that that's still a fucking thing. That game is more AAA.
Yeah, that is AAA. That is not an
games
indie.
to now. Oh my god, that makes me so mad.
Yeah, PlayStation put it in the indie section. Why?
Plague Tale. Fuck. I'm gonna call Phil. Look,
They have to put two indie games in the game of
Gonna
the year.
call
That's why
Phil.
it's
Oh,
indie.
sweet. Oh,
dude, like,
are we joining a
Plague
conference?
Tale Requiem is. I say it before. Like, Osobo could very, very, very likely become Microsoft's Naughty Dog if Asobo Studios. Plague Tale Requiem was one of the most AAA games that I've played in a very long time. In terms of just narrative, in terms of like the attention to detail, the length of the game versus the quality that it delivered. Yeah, it ran at 30 frames, but that's because of third-person cinema.
Enjoy these, enjoy these massive, high quality indie games from the makers of Focus Entertainment, Coco Cucumber, and more. What?
Yeah, man, I don't. It's one of those things where I don't know, like, okay, like, because I know, like, earlier you guys talked about how Outer Worlds is a AA game, and I'm like, Outer Worlds is a AA game? Because whenever I played it, my experience felt very AAA. It didn't feel indie or anything like that. Like, it's Obsidian. And like, what are we supposed to say about a Valve?
Yeah, it was AA.
Yeah, what are we supposed to say about a Valve whenever it comes out? Is that a AA game? Because now it's actually an exclusive. It's a first-party exclusive to Microsoft. Does that change the fact that it's AA? Is it now AAA all of a sudden because it's first-party? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Answer me!
Well, didn't Obsidian say outright that Avowed is their first AAA game under Microsoft?
I don't believe them.
I think, right, Outer Worlds 2, that's definitely going to be a AAA game, I feel.
Yeah.
They're going to put more money into it.
I think to define a AAA game is how much resources are being pumped into it. I think Microsoft Microsoft theoretically could make a AA game. It would be like Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, less resources go into it, but you're still, you know, it's still a first-party game. It's just got less resources into it. It's a smaller kind of... Hi-Fi Rush was doing something unique, you know, the whole rhythm thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, so, look, this might be one of the longest shows that we've done.
It is the longest show.
And I have had a great time. Everyone in chat has been so amazing. Shout out to everyone who's been here, like Arcane and Jake is still here hanging out. Zemi is still here hanging out. Forsaken, eat shit.
Johnny was in there somewhere.
Yeah, Yodani was in there. God, I don't know who else. I'm trying to. Charlie Hustle. I don't know who's still here, but thank you all so much for being here. It's been great. And Lex, thanks so much for jumping on in between. You really sort of lit a fire on this show, or you sort of elevated the show for sure. You elevated the discussion, and it was so good to have you on finally. This is just, we need to get Mitch on too. Just bring his bitch ass in here and just say, come on.
Mitch is currently locked in his girlfriend's basement, so
we need all of you to we need you both to join us for the Starfield Direct.
Yes.
I will say now, when my game is announced, I'm gonna promote it so much you're gonna like ban me from everything that you do.
Nope. You deserve it.
Is there a time frame when your game will be?
I'm gonna promote it on like the Lawfield show.
Yes.
What game are we talking about?
So
I'm working on an indie game.
Yes.
At an undisclosed studio. I'm under NDA, so I can't talk about it. But I'm a writer. So if the world sucks, you can blame me. Personally, you can say you are a terrible writer. You can go to oblivion and
play the same dungeons over and over again.
Yeah.
Hey, if they have a job opening for a janitor, I'm open for it.
He said janitor. Oh.
Well, unfortunately, we don't even have a physical location to make you a janitor. Because I have an office space.
That's fair, but when you guys do get an office space and you need a janitor, hit me up.
Oh, Jonas is here too, by the way, so I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out to the people who did want to do roll call. Let's see, Yodani says, I'm still
the roll
here.
call.
Roll call.
Yeah,
that's called
he says,
motherfucker.
I'm gonna go cry now. Love you. But I did want to shout out to and Jake says, "Yep, I'm still here. Thank you so much for being here." And Jonas says something that speaks to all of us Bethesda lovers here. He says, "I'm here just quiet because I'm trying to fix my Skyrim mod order." Oh my God! If that is not the bane of every Bethesda lover's existence, trying to fix why is my game crashing? I bet it's because my XP 2032 skeleton is not below the right. You guys know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. I get you, man. I feel you, dude. Oh, keep at it. It's worth it. Fix it. I spent like 13 hours trying to fix my I have 141 mods installed on my console and it's perfect. The game is perfect. Never crashes. and it doesn't even look, it looks like Skyrim, but it looks like next gen. I don't want to talk about it. Well, I do, but not. There's not enough time. Anyway, yes. So
by the way, have you appreciated the Ashta behind me?
Yes. So please explain to the audience what they're seeing right here.
So Emil described to us that outside of Kila City, the concept art.
Yes.
That the Ashta were a combination between a wolf and velociraptor. So Mitch made these, and these have been the official Ashta icons for the past 2 years, almost. So
Yes.
Thanks Emil for that content. These are Ashta, and if these aren't the Ashta in game, we will mod them in because these doesn't done justice.
Yeah.
These will be in the game. When you see lore content on Lorefield, I will have these installed, and all you will see when I fight Ashta is these.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So you got a lot of
look
work
forward
to do.
that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I've got a lot of work to do.
So, Lex, speaking of work that you got to do, where can people find you? What will you be playing? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LoreFieldNet. Mitch Moore runs that. On YouTube, youtube.com/LoreField. We got a custom URL before the whole @ thing. So we were quite lucky with that. We're streaming games like Redfall every few weeks or every now and again when we can. And then when Starfield launches, we might open up another channel to do other games for streaming. And then keep the main channel just for like Starfield streams and content. But for now we're doing that. Obviously the lore subreddit where you can discuss lore, it's more focused on it's just like the lore subreddits for Fallout or Elder Scrolls, but there's links to obviously the podcast and all that. So you can find us on those platforms.
Nice. Yes, and I will see you very soon again, because we've got dates planned out. A lot of Starfield stuff coming up. Oh my God, we're about to be overwhelmed. Let's see if I can't make it. Lorefield on the 18th. So 2 days from now, on Thursday, they will have Starfield Signal on as a guest, along with a few
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Oh no, was this supposed to be a secret?
No.
Whoopsie. Yeah. It's funny because the way that this happened, I went into his comment section and I said, "You listen here, you son of a bitch." No, I basically what happened is I asked him to DM me in the comment section, and then I went back to see if he replied, and my comment was gone, and I messaged back on the comments in YouTube and said, "Bro, I'm a real person. I swear to God, I'm a real person. I was legit trying to ask you to come on a podcast.
DM me so I can steal your account."
That's what I said.
Starfield
I said
Signal.
DM me for this, and he replied immediately on the YouTube comments and said, "I'm so sorry. I have you have your words banned." And he said DM is actually one of the words that I have banned. And I said I'll have somebody reach out to you. Mitch reached out, and apparently it's happening. And unfortunately, I have a networking meeting for fucking work that I have to go to. So if things get turned around, I can try to make it. But I'm very excited for that show. So look out for that.
It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they've played the YouTube algorithm very well.
Yeah, because he's
broke it.
I'd like to know the secrets of the algorithm.
He completely broke it.
Dude.
It's
crazy, man.
They took the algorithm and they got a baseball bat and just smashed its teeth in.
Yeah,
and in return, the algorithm just gave it whatever it wanted because it was terrified of him.
Literally, I'm seeing shorts every single day, and I'm like, he's got 10,000 subscribers in 5 days. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
I want to start doing shorts because they are just
same.
They are literally view farms.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Assassin and I talked about that. Anyway, I don't want to go down. Speaking of Assassin, apparently I haven't disciplined you enough, Assassin. I haven't given you enough of spankings. I don't pull your pants down in front of the family, but I do it behind closed doors if you haven't cleaned your room. And
have you watched a show called Moral Oral? I think this is what's happening in this situation here. So
that's what's happening right now. See, the reason Assassin keeps his camera off is because he doesn't clean his room, and I'd be able to see if he didn't clean his room.
No, what?
Go ahead.
Why do you think I've got this in the background?
There you go. Plan it smart.
Literally, my bed is like literally right here, so I literally get up, turn off my computer, and literally sit on my bed.
Yeah, she can just like flip, just be in bed right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Hang on.
We
just one-
already
one
done
sec,
flipping
one sec, one
with you,
sec.
Red. Don't flip.
No, I'm not gonna do any flips. Oh my god, I know, falling out of my fucking chair is so embarrassing. So Assassin, what are you gonna be doing? Where can people find you? And what are you gonna be eating for breakfast? What the hell was that?
Well, as far as what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be playing more. I'm gonna finish Jedi Survivor before Street Fighter comes in a couple weeks.
Don't
Ruin it
rush
for
it.
you.
You're American, not Russian.
I'm not gonna. I have enough time. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
But I'm also gonna be playing Rainbow Six Siege with my squad because Red seems so intent to have us download Payday 2 and then not ask us to play Payday 2. So I'm just gonna keep playing Siege until he does. As far as where you can find me, you can find me at Assassin4233 on Twitter, and that's about it. So, yeah, and I did tell Red and Mac, just beat me in Siege, and I'll show you what I look like, but Mac says Siege sucks, so he's never gonna see me. Zemi, if you're still in the chat and you and Red want to beat me in Siege, I'll show you both what I look like, but until then, no one
You gotta
gets
be
to know
on
what I
the
look like.
show.
So
I
did you
don't
show
care.
Jimmy? Did you show Jimmy what you look like?
No.
Oh
What'd you say?
shit, burn, because he beat you.
Wait, did you?
Nah.
I think you
No, I
should
was
do
kidding.
a
He
face
didn't beat me
reveal.
yet.
I think you should do a face reveal with a PSI camera from like the PS2 era.
There you go.
An eye toy.
Perfect
Just
lighting,
like
perfect lighting, everything.
2 pixels, like
Yeah,
the lighting's
yeah.
horrible. And they still
Alright.
wouldn't see your face. That's how bad the camera.
No.
So
Alright.
No.
Max, since you're already
DeMarco,
speaking,
don't fall asleep. DeMarco, don't fall asleep over there, man. All right, I just want to make sure you know.
What are you
Fall
doing?
asleep. It's like 2:30 in the
He
morning.
wants this to
now.
be
DeMarco looks
over.
dead. DeMarco looked like he
break.
worked like a 10-hour shift here. You know?
I know that's something because for Lex it is super late. What is 2:30 in the morning for you right now?
Yeah,
This is my mid-afternoon.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You're a night owl. Yeah, that's how devs work. They
Yeah.
gotta work in silence.
I was in bed till like 1 in the afternoon,
Oh, okay,
Wish.
so you're good. You're good.
I'm up at 4 in the morning on my time.
and I was still tired.
All right, so Mac, which you have things to do, people to do, things to
Yeah, this
see.
you know
People-
what?
people
I'm about
to
get-
do.
I'm gonna walk in there and the wife's gonna cut my head off.
Jesus Christ, man. Clip that.
Twitter, find me on Twitter. MacBound_. Twitch, I'm not gonna. I haven't streamed in like a month because I've been just so busy with everything. And I'm probably not gonna stream until at least after mid-June because I have to move. So that's more important than streaming. And I don't know what was the other question. What am I playing? I don't know.
What are you doing? Who the hell are you? What the fuck?
Zelda, and maybe more
Nice.
Zelda. So yeah, that's where we're at this point. So, and I might turn my PlayStation on and actually update it. So I'm gonna tell you that. That's one thing I will tell you. So, because we're getting ready to get that big show. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Girl. Yeah, hell yeah. DeMarco, my dude, you've been very, very active on all the social medias, especially on YouTube, putting out great content. You gonna be keeping at that? Keeping doing that?
Oh hell yeah! I'm gonna be keeping on that.
Shit.
Keeping on that. Oh shit. No.
Oh,
Sorry,
that
I don't know what
was
that
almost like a hit back.
I don't know what that is. Yeah,
I
I'm
love
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry. I've been like pooping out for the last hour.
It's okay. I haven't eaten in 5.5 hours, and I'm probably gonna throw up in a minute, but that's fine.
Yeah, don't worry. When the show goes off, we're all gonna yell at Red for making it go so long.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's my fault.
No,
Yeah, please,
so
please.
sorry,
continue.
sorry for getting kind of poopy, but at DeMarco Dude, both
Poopy
on
butt.
YouTube and here on we're on YouTube.
Yep.
At DeMarco Dude on YouTube and on Twitter. I'm actually taking a bit of a break as to like what I'm doing games wise. Taking a bit of a break from playing too many games. If I do, I'm gonna hop into Darkest Dungeon 2. Nice little roguelike. Do a round, do a run, then turn it off. Because I'm trying to put that emphasis on that content. I got some 3 Starfield videos I put out. Don't want to hound just the Starfield stuff, so gonna try to look into some other topics, and really just gearing up for that launch, because that's the next big one. Baldur's Gate.
DeMarco, are you gonna be on our show on that Sunday show with the Xbox?
June 11th.
I gotta do it on my channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. Yeah.
So no.
We need a new panel
Just
guy.
be
Lexi,
a
would you
man
like to
and
join
say
our panel?
no.
We're gonna boot DeMarco
He's
here,
got
so,
a business
okay.
of his own to run. I totally get it, and I respect that. He's like, listen, I love y'all, but
Okay, so I'm guessing you're doing the PlayStation one too, right?
Yeah, I'll be doing
Well, then-
I'll be doing the events.
Well, are you doing it by yourself then? So Red, you're not. Are you doing the PlayStation event? I need to know this because we're trying to figure this out. Why we're live on the podcast.
We'll talk about it. We are for sure
we'll talk about it.
doing the we will be streaming the June 11th showcase. And no, before you worry about it, we're not going to be talking over everything like a lot of people do. We will be very respectfully watching and reacting as we go along, and it'll be fun. It'll be a great
Excuse the
time.
screaming.
You'll sit through the whole 90 minutes and you'll just sit there with your blank face like,
Like this.
Yes,
Oh no, I
pretty
guarantee
much
you
like-
when. If
And then as
when
soon as
Fable
it
shows
ends-
up, me and Mac are gonna be screaming.
and
yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna
and
like lose
literally
my. Yeah.
after the Xbox showcase is over and the Starfield Direct starts, you're just going to be talking. So you've like been quiet for the whole of the Xbox show, and then you're instantly talking throughout the Starfield one. Oh my God, Vasco! Ah!
Exactly.
I don't know
yes.
what I just
Jonas
did.
says
Yo.
schedule a post-show cast. We will absolutely. The show will not end when the stream for the showcase goes down. We will 100%
2
continue
hours.
it as a Renegade Realm podcast.
You'll have a toilet
After the
break.
fact.
You'll have a quick coffee, and then
Yes.
we're back
Yes.
to it.
Yes. So
It'll be
hey,
2
Unless it's
hours.
instant.
we all have so much going on. This was such a great show, and sincerely appreciate. And I say this every week, but no one does it except for KY Bob. Shout out to you, KY Bob. Did this. If you made it this far into the show, just hashtag. What? Hashtag what?
Haters in the ass. Sorry.
Hashtag Red
potatoes.
Wolf cancelled.
Potatoes. I was gonna say
Cancel Red
potatoes.
Wolf.
There we go. So we had two.
There we
Okay. Hashtag potatoes. There we go. And me canceled the intern.
Yeah.
And yes, I am your host, Red Wolf. You can find me at Red Wolf Renegade on Twitter. That's just Red Wolf Renegade on Twitter. The only
Red Dad
Wolf Renegade on
Renebeard.
Twitter. Red Dad Renebeard, babe. Or what do you say? Red Wolf Renebabe. So-
Red Dead Renebeard.
Yeah.
Renebabe works too.
Yeah, I love that. And you're already here, so hit the like button, please. It helps a lot. Share this out, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. I really appreciate everyone for being here. And it's time to eat. We're all going to go eat some food. Yeah? Yeah.
Close
Okay.
my eyes, go to bed.
I'm gonna do my exercises and have a fast heart rate trying to sleep.
All right, well, let's all make a silly noise on one to say goodbye. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Oh, okay.